Regarding this pre-character creation event, from November 22nd, you can create a character. Yes, I have done that. I will play Throne and Liberty in Korea. It's not easy to get in the game over there, to create account and everything. Check a dedicated video on my YouTube channel, how to play Throne and Liberty in Korea, guide step by step what you actually need to do to install and to play the game. Check that video from previous week on my YouTube channel, and also I will put link in the description below video. Regarding number of servers, regarding number of players who will play this game for release in Korea, I need to show you here decision from NCSoft to increase capacity of the servers. Currently there are 15 servers. On November 22nd there was only 5 servers, but popularity of the game is so huge. So many players wants to play the game, not only from Korea, I guess also global players want to play over there in Korea. They need to add overall now 15 servers, and they have increased capacity of the servers. Check dedicated video on my YouTube channel from day before yesterday when I make analysis how many players will play over there in Korea. It's actually pretty interesting video, you will see, because I have some, well, there are no any kind of official numbers, but I have a really guess. You will see why I can make a really good guess. Now, what happened within last week or two, there are many different kind of interviews with developers of the game, because yes, marketing campaign is up, that is kind of normal. And for this evening, I have for you a recap of most interesting information from all of these interviews. I have read overall about 5 interviews with developers of the game, and for you this evening I have most interesting questions and answers regarding Throne and Liberty. You'll see actually really interesting information here we have get from developers of the game. Let's start here with the first question, very interesting question you will see in a minute. Are there any build differences between the Korean version and the global version? Answer to that question, we are developing assuming that there will be no build differences at all. That is actually really interesting. We are always kind of assuming that global version of the game will be different to some point. It's still not too late, because we are probably getting a release globally of Throne and Liberty in early 2024. Amazon Games, publisher of this game for global version of the game, and developers of this game, NCSoft, they can still make some changes, and maybe, just maybe, some changes, positive changes, wouldn't be bad, because here in the West, yeah, market, global market, gaming market is a little bit different than Korean market. Nevertheless, you can see here, developers of the game, they have answered really clearly, right? That Korean version of the game and global version of the game will be the same. On one way, that is also good, because whatever you will see during live streams, check my live streams on Twitch from December 7th, and here on my YouTube channel regarding content, regarding dungeons, regarding guides for different kind of roles, weapons, everything will be viable also for global version of the game. Whatever we see in Korea, whatever content also I will make, yeah, it will be good for also for global version of the game. That is a good way. There is also a negative aspect of that, because like I said, Western gaming market, Western players have a little bit different opinion. I mean, not even in Korea, they don't like pay to win. Absolutely. Nobody likes pay to win. It doesn't matter where you live, in Korea or here in the West. Nevertheless, here in the West, we don't really like pay to win. So let's see what they will do, developers of this game and publisher, before global release of Throne and Liberty. However, for now, answer from developers, you can see, yeah, a Korean and global version of the game should be the same. Second question here, also very interesting, and don't mind a little bit, this is a rough translation from Korean language to English language. Some things will look a little bit strange, but we'll understand the point. It was scheduled to be released on PC and console, but it came out to domestic market, PC platform first. I'm curious about the reason for the delay in console preparation and the current progress. This is a good question, because we are all expecting not only that Throne and Liberty will be released at the same time globally and in Korea. That didn't happen, obviously, first release in Korea, but also we are kind of expecting a release of this game for PlayStation 5 and Xbox. This game is not a mobile title, so only PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox. However, for now, there is no any kind of announcement regarding PlayStation 5 or Xbox version of the game. So let's check answer from developers of the game. The development situation is almost the same as for PC. When conducting private testing at Amazon Games, interesting, PlayStation and Xbox platforms were also conducted, okay? Since Korea has a strong PC platform, we'll focus on that and add console services along with global services. Okay, this is now very concrete answer. So basically, in Korea, they will get PlayStation 5 and Xbox version of the game same moment when we will get it globally. And that means probably also for PC release of the game here in the West. That is not confirmed. There is no information from Amazon Games, but I can assume that at the same moment we will get globally PC version of the game, probably will get also released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. However, there are no guarantees. We still need to check that in the future what will happen. Let's go forward here with next question. How long it will take to reach maximum level? Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting question because I know not everybody have time, same amount of time to play the game, right? So let's check what we have here. If you run very fast, that means that if you play a lot, obviously, it will take 3 days. And for casual players who play 2 or 3 hours a day, it will take about 3 or 4 weeks. So that means actually that if you're a hardcore player, you will do it within 3 days. Probably even sooner than if you are a casual player, you will do it within 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, I was kind of expecting that leveling will be a little bit more hard, that it will not be like this so easy. Nevertheless, they have changed that leveling speed since that closed beta test in Korea. Obviously, the leveling changing that the leveling will not be that hard, which is on one way actually positive thing. Even 3 or 4 weeks for casual player is not that much. Even casual players probably they will do it faster, maybe within 2 weeks, let's say. You'll be able to play, to enjoy in content, endgame content of Throne and Liberty basically very fast. So leveling looks like it will not be a problem. Let's go further with another question here regarding leveling. This is actually a question regarding in general. That question was regarding will pay.
I don't know. It seems like it's all the old. I already know about. Trying to see if this video had anything new. And all right. Let's see here. I want to pin. I'm just. Oh, okay. I got my phone. I can do it. If I want to know how to do it, I'm gonna. No, I think I just write something and then pin. Um. think I had the thumbnail for video, but I think there you go. It seems like
to win.
I don't know. It seems like this is the same content that I seen. That could be wrong. Watch this real quick and then back to Black Desert. Oh. um. Hello. Hello. All right. Damn.
Yeah,
Sounds
sounds
terrible.
terrible. Yeah,
Sounds
sounds
terrible.
terrible. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Why?
Why? Something like that.
Something
Like
like
that. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Um, hello.
Hello?
Oh shit.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Um.
Hold on. My mic is, hello?
All right.
Alright.
Um.
It says, hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Um.
Yeah, I don't know. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
this thing is,
Hello.
hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
All right.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. This
This
is
is,
really
really
bad.
bad.
Um.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Maybe?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Um, yeah. Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
gotta
Gotta
figure.
figure something out. Why did it sound like that?
Create your sound in the Voice Lab. Sound how you want to be heard with custom voice avatars.
Alright. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Alright. Maybe that. Hello? Alright. Yeah. He's gonna wanna have to do that.
Alright. Yeah. Maybe just do that, and I'll be fine. I don't know. Alright. Maybe. Alright. Hello. 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 Alright. Yeah. Maybe. Hello. 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 What's this? Nah. Chill. Okay. Alright. Hello? 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 Alright. Hello? Yeah, I guess this is what it's gonna have to be. Maybe?
Damn. It really sounds like without anything. Oh. Damn. This mic sounds terrible. Alright, let's see here. Yeah. Compressor. Alright. Alright, noise suppression. You can hear everything, dude. It's definitely not taking away the sound from the back at all. It's an upward compressor. I don't know. It's weird. 'Cause, yeah. He's playing it like so weird. Alright, um, um, hello, 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 see? Takes away like my whole background. Jesus, I can't even talk. Let me see. Maybe if I
Take all that shit out. Alright. um.
let's see. Maybe. Alright. Could probably do it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. Alright. Let's see here. Alright. Yeah, because sometimes when you take too much out, you can even hear. Yeah, because I don't want it to be so quiet. As in, it might be hard to hear me. I don't know. We'll see. I think I have to talk. For sure. Just to hear that. Yeah, I don't know. I need a better mic. Jesus. Alright. Now I know why people leave. That's so bad. The whole time it was like that. There to hear everything. Oh, alright.
Hello? 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 Alright, there you go. But why? Why? Hello? Hello? Oh, there we go. Hello? Hello? Alright. Yeah. So I just need to reduce the background noise. Oh, I can't hear anything. Oh, thank God. Alright, we're perfect. Let me see. Okay. Alright. Everything's good. Hell yeah. Sorry. Wait, hold on. Final test. Oh, perfect. I can put my fan on. Okay. I think we're good now. But why? Definitely don't want to hear this twice. Oh, that's why. Okay. I think it should be fine. Let me just double check in here from my end. I think it should be fine. Let me just double check in here from my end. I think it should be fine. Let me just double check. Yeah, sounds good. Should be fine. Let me just double check. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's hear my new voice. All right. Let's hear my new voice. Yeah, perfect. All right. Let's hear my new voice. Yeah, perfect. All right. It's a bit of annoying, but okay. What are we doing again? Oh yeah.
Have any kind of influence on leveling. And then again, there is no reason to do that because leveling will be easy anyway. But let's check answer. Leveling is much faster than in closed beta test, so you can use a wide variety of skills quickly. All weapon related skills can be obtained as a result of in-game content, such as leveling up, and use preferred skills will also be introduced in the future. Little bit strange translation, don't worry about that. So real money or anything paid to win will not be connected with leveling progress. So that is clear and I was expecting that. Like I said, leveling is easy. Why to even implement pay to win features, anything regarding leveling? Next question regarding PvP. There are lots of talking regarding PvP. Check some dedicated videos on my YouTube channel. I have already made actually one dedicated video where I talk in details how you'll be able to play PvP in the game, or if you like to play only PvE, how to avoid PvP. You can do actually both. So Throne and Liberty as one real MMORPG will have both PvP features and PvE features in the game. If you like to play PvP, you'll have lots of things to play in Throne and Liberty. But if you don't like PvP, don't worry, you can avoid it if you want. Let's check here answer from developers of the game. If you don't want to do PvP, you can get to the end content without a single fight. I mean, for everybody here, I know there are many players who wants to avoid PvP. This is very important information. So, if you don't want to do PvP, you don't need to. You can reach endgame content, developers of the game, I'm quoting here, without a single fight. How? I have explained in some other videos on my YouTube channel, because PvP will not be completely open world. There will be regional events which will cover certain parts of the map. So if you want to avoid that, well, simply don't go into that part of the map. However, if you want to do PvP, if you are a PvP player, great. Then Throne and Liberty is also a game for you, because you can go in those areas. You can check those areas on the map. When you see some regional event happening on the map, rush there and enjoy in PvP. PvP is still optional for user. Even people who don't want to do PvP at all can do whatever they want until they reach maximum level and have the right equipment. That is also very important. So Very important information. So it wouldn't be right that people who avoid PvP, if you like to play only PvE, you also can't get equipment. Don't worry. Even if you can avoid PvP, you will still be able to get your gear. You'll be able to gear up. PvP will be more focused on users who want it. That is absolutely good way to do it. Some people feel the sense of the accomplishment that comes from competing and winning, so we can share it with each other. Absolutely, again, another side of the coin, absolutely. If you like that competing, winning, PvP, don't worry. You'll be able to do that in Throne and Liberty. I have seen already many people complaining about, hey, why we don't have open world PvP, there is no PvP in the game. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. If you enjoy in PvP, you'll be able to do it a lot in Throne and Liberty. Just not everywhere you want. You'll not be able to disturb somebody who doesn't want to PvE. Why would you PK somebody who is doing only PvE? No. Those people will go on the side, they will avoid those regional events, and they'll be able to level up peacefully, normally. On the other side, if you enjoy PvP, no problem at all. Go over there in PvP zone and have fun. Go over there, do PvP if you want, like really a lot. So, very good solution from NCSoft regarding this question. Regarding special skill, okay, this is question in the game. I already made few videos regarding transformations, regarding different kind of special skills, which different kind of characters have. So depending on your ranking in the game, not every character, only the best top ranking, you'll have special ability which you can use 2 times per day to change weather. Yes, imagine that. You'll be able to change weather in Throne and Liberty. This is absolutely amazing, exciting, right? Now, question was regarding this reporter have asked question because there are concerns that some players can abuse that in the game because the weather have influence on terrain, on environment, on your gameplay. So there are some concerns about that. Let's check answer here. Regarding special skill which allows you to change the weather, each game content has a ranking and users with the highest rankings get one. Okay, so not everybody can get that skill. Only players, it's written here users, don't worry, only players with the highest ranking, which is kind of logical. Imagine if everybody would be able to change weather. Come on, that would be insane. What would happen with the weather? We would change it like every minute. No, only users, players with the highest ranking can do that. Since you can't use it often, 2 times per day, you have to make strategic choices when you want to. You can probably use it once or twice a day. So probably once or twice per day. They didn't define here clearly, but obviously there will be some kind of limitation, which is good, absolutely good. Even for those top ranking players, it wouldn't be good that they have available this changing weather skill anytime they want. Come on, that would be also not good for the game. So they need to put some kind of limitation. Now we are trying to use the environment carefully and in a limited way. Regarding this influence of weather on environment, check dedicated video on my YouTube channel. I have done that video maybe even now a few months back. That is a big topic. It's very important because environment will change. Not only environment, weather will have influence on your skills. Right? This is amazing. One really amazing feature. So your skill will not be the same. It will change depending on is it the weather sunny or is it the weather raining or something like that. But not all the skills, to clarify that. For example, rain will have influence on electricity kind of skills. They will be more powerful. They will be more powerful during a rain, electricity kind of skills, and they will have AoE effects. But there are also other effects depending on the weather. So weather is very important. In the past, in the case of Blade and Soul, another really big IP from NCSoft, there were cases where their user could defeat a boss with their own skill. Okay, so this is basically if you could handle some bosses solo, without any group gameplay. Can you do it, right? That is, I already know the answer. I mean, it would be really strange to allow that in the game, but let's check answer anyway. Is it possible to overcome TL with control as well? It is possible to some extent, and most content done alone can be overcome. So they mean on this regarding leveling. Don't worry, you will not be able to kill a raid boss on your own. That would be funny. Imagine you alone go to kill a raid boss. However, no matter how strong you become in multiplayer content, it is difficult to play alone because cooperative elements and gimmicks Rather than that, just ignoring the monster's patterns and firing skills randomly, timing of the counterattack will increase survivability and improves combat efficiency. So, yeah, I mean, part of the content you can play alone. That's kind of normal. Leveling process, obviously. There are some solo dungeons in Throne and Liberty. I'm preparing special video with another analysis. I have already reported about that on my YouTube channel, but I'm preparing brand new video regarding deeper analysis of solo dungeon. Stay tuned on my YouTube channel very soon. And you can see here, yeah, I mean, multiplayer content, group content, well, you cannot handle alone. That is the point, and that is the answer of this question. So, group content, you need to play in group. Very clear. Can all items be traded on the exchange? Whew, very important question. Let's check it out. I wonder if it will also be linked to PvP content. Not everyone. Most items obtained from independent spaces, such as instance dungeons, are bound. What is gained competitively in the field has been released so that it can be traded. Since most of the materials are bound, you have to play to obtain them yourself. So this is very clear answer here. So some field content, I assume they mean on these raids, open world raids, those items will be released. That means not bound to you. However, items which you will get in dungeons, instances, those items will be bound. So those items obviously will not be tradable. At least I would interpret this answer on that way. Let's go further with next question. Are there any plans to add purple disconnect play function? Okay, so purple disconnect play function. This actually means, as I understand, that you will be able to play offline Throne and Liberty. And I have to tell you right away, I hope they will not do that. Come on, this is online MMORPG. Not offline game. That would be terrible in my opinion. Let's check answer from developers. There is no plan at all. Thank you, NCSoft. Thank you very much. I will only make it a game that you can play while sitting down on your PC. The elimination of automatic hunting is in the same context. Regarding this sentence here, the elimination of automatic hunting, yes, NCSoft have decided after that closed beta test in Korea to completely remove every auto feature from the game. Amazing move, amazing. They have listened feedback of players. After that closed beta test in Korea, that was maybe 5 months ago or something like that, people were complaining, yes, we have seen auto farming, auto movement, auto combat. That is not good. For one real MMORPG, no mobile devices, this shouldn't exist. What did NCSoft did? They have completely removed auto farming, auto combat, and auto movement. They have even removed auto movement. In my opinion, at least, regarding auto combat and auto farming, absolutely good decision. They must remove that, and they did remove that. Regarding auto movement, I'm kind of so-so. We have seen in some other MMORPG titles, even some newer ones, that auto movement is possible in the game. Auto movement is nothing that bad. Auto combat and auto play, yes, that's very bad. Nevertheless, absolutely, NCSoft have removed everything auto combat, auto movement. So, amazing move from NCSoft. They have listened feedback of players, and you can see here you can play while you're sitting down on your PC. Yeah, they want actually this to be one real online game, not offline game. Come on, right? Absolutely, NCSoft. Again, thank you very much. This means a lot when you see it actually confirmed by developers of the game. I mean, I didn't have even any doubt that this game will be a real PC MMORPG, but it's really nice when you see answers. Concrete answers from developers of the game. They are writing that clearly, that yeah, this is one real MMORPG. No mobile devices, no auto functions, and no offline play. Let's check next question here. Will the wild transformation have any effect? I will explain in a second question regarding wild transformation, what it is actually. It doesn't affect performance. The wild transformation allows you to move quickly or break throughout certain environments, and there is no significant difference in battle. This was question regarding pay to win, basically. So, if wild transformation will give you some kind of special advantage in the game, and if you can buy that transformation, wild one, with real money, come on, that will be pay to win. However, this is not the case. So you can obtain transformations also in the game, and difference regarding those which you can get in the game and paid ones will be appearance and fun. That's it. There won't be any differences in stats. So transformation, which you buy with real money, can look better regarding these ones, wild transformation, but they will not have any advantage regarding pay to win, regarding the stats. Then from normal transformation, which you can get wild transformation in the game. And the last question here, also very important one. How soon after launch will the Conquest War and Siege War will be held? So regarding this question, just to explain, Siege gameplay, massive multiplayer gameplay, that's it. That is one of the main reasons why we play MMORPGs, real MMORPGs like Throne and Liberty. Because single player games, yeah, you can play alone. This game here will have Conquest Wars, Siege Wars, Guild versus Guild content, massive content. And here actually they were asking during this interview, developers of the game, question, when we will see Siege Wars in the game. Conquest battles take a few days after launch and they are held sequentially, starting from the early areas. The siege will be held in conjunction with the system in about a month and a half. Oh, that is actually a pretty long time. Maybe I have misunderstood here answer to this question. I need to say all of these interviews were for Korean websites and different kind of events. So this is rough translation. I hope they will not wait with big sieges a month and a half. I would like to see that content much sooner. However, regarding Conquest Wars, Guild versus Guild content, everything else, that will be available within few days. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a recap of most interesting information, what is happening with Throne and Liberty recently, right now, basically in this time before release of the game. You have seen here, you have heard during this video, most important questions and answers, and I think that we can be satisfied. I think that we can be satisfied, that we can be hyped. There is a reasons to be hyped, absolutely excited. Like I said, I already create account. I will play Throne and Liberty in Korea. Check my live streams, make sure to follow me on Twitch and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will see lots of content regarding Throne and Liberty. When I see anything interesting is happening with the game, it doesn't matter is it over there in Korea or regarding global version of the game. For this evening regarding global version of the game, just to tell you, there is basically nothing new. I was checking just a few minutes ago, there is no any kind of news from Amazon Games, publisher of this game for global version of the game, regarding some kind of testing phase, but I expect soon, very soon, we'll hear some very good news from Amazon Games. They cannot wait too long, and I think that Game Awards 2023, which will be up on December 7th, yes, on the same day when Throne and Liberty will be released in Korea, that will be actually really good opportunity to give us some kind of news regarding global version of the game. Maybe not release date, but maybe date for next testing phase. So I will check for sure Game Awards 2023. Until then, stay hyped, stay positive. When I see any kind of news, you'll find it here instantly on my YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and also follow me on Twitch. And what to say on the end, except see you soon with another Throne and Liberty video. Now you are updated regarding everything what is happening with Throne and Liberty. Global version of the game and Korean version of the game. Check already lots of videos on my YouTube channel regarding Korean version of the game, how to play over there. And I'm preparing lots of videos regarding roles, weapons, skills, in-game features, guides regarding dungeons. It will be exciting. See you soon in another video.
The biggest MMO scam ever. Ever.
The arrival of Kickstarter and the unfulfilled desire for
What's he reacting to? Oh, sorry.
exciting new MMOs combined with Unreal Engine's capability to make absolutely
Looks very
anything
nice.
look beautiful was the perfect formula for the introduction of MMO scams into the world.
Absolutely.
Today we're going to talk about the 5 most interesting MMO scams to exist so far. We'll talk about how they came to be and perhaps most important,
Can you imagine if this guy put Ashes of Creation on the list? Oh my god, people would lose their fucking minds.
where they are now. Was it malice or ignorance that led to millions of dollars disappearing while having nothing to show
they
for
probably
it?
would.
Which ones went to jail and which ones got away with it?
Probably
and
all of
were
them
we
got away with
wrong
it.
about any of them? Let's find out. First
All
up,
right.
Chronicles of Illyria. This was
Let's do
another
it.
fascinating one to follow, with a story that's going to start to sound very familiar as we go through this list. It
Okay.
all starts on Kickstarter, led by a man named Jeremy Walsh.
Right.
Was it malice or ineptitude that caused this to play out the way that it did? Let me know down in the comments what you think. It all
$1
starts on
million,
September 18th,
$1.3 million,
2015. The first screenshot was shared on the company's Twitter feed. Remember what this looks like. It's going to be important because this is
Hand size? Who the fuck wants hand size? Foot size?
Yeah, you want big feet, big hands?
not what was delivered. Then,
Come on, dude.
ironically, on April 1st, 2016, the first gameplay footage is shown
Get
in a
with the
video
program.
titled Meet the Team. Again,
God
remember
damn.
what this footage looks like.
Yeah,
Then,
this is this footage is from Elder Scrolls 3, I think. It was Morrowind.
Oh, damn.
on May 3rd, 2016,
Came out a long
Soulbound
time
Studios
ago.
announces its
Oh my god. So they gave you some old ass footage that probably no one ever fucking looks at and said, alright, I'm gonna use this as my as my trailer sneak peek. And I'm sure nobody's gonna ever notice this shit. Go over here like, is this guy out of his fucking mind? No. I just maybe had a little extra coffee this morning, but you know, I'm pretty alright. Doing okay here, buddy. You sure about that? You fucking positive? Excuse me.
its long-awaited Kickstarter campaign asking for just $900,000 and promising
small loan
this.
of $900,000.
Aging, Dying, and Souls, an epic 10-year storyline invites you to experience your character over multiple lifetimes. With each life, you will develop your character and make your mark in the Chronicle.
Bro, that sounds
When your
morbid as
character
fuck.
eventually dies, their soul will be reincarnated stronger than
I
before.
don't wanna do that.
And their
That's
spirit
weird.
and destiny will live on in another character.
will
of
die
your
if you
making.
rot
The
back.
game being
Fuck?
described was on a
That's
scale
the
never
goal.
before seen.
Number
It was
2.
going to
Number
have
3.
every system and
Number 11.
feature that you've ever wanted all rolled into one
Yeah,
map.
I mean, that's just like the best idea, right? Because, like, why have only some good systems? Let's just have every good system, and that way we'll just make everybody happy and it'll be perfect.
Massive MMORPG, or at least that's what they told us.
Of course.
And apparently it worked. Just 1 month later, on June 3rd, 2016, they hit their Kickstarter goal,
They
with
have.
4 people going as far as donating $10,000 each so that they would be considered royalty in the game. At the
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
The pain.
Oh, man. Like, it's like we can call these people dumb, right? But, like, there's plenty of people that spend this kind of money on gacha games, too. So it's, like, really not that big of a surprise. Like, I think that's kind of just, like, normal. Established titles. Yeah, but that wasn't as much money, to be fair.
this point in 2016, Soulbound
Whoever spends $10,000 to be a royalty in a game is because they have money like that to spend. So I'm guessing that if they did spend that kind of money, they have receipts, and they definitely sued the shit out of whoever did it. Took him straight to court, probably got more money out of it. So it's all good. Not like they didn't do anything about it. No, they were like, "Oh no, I lost 10,000. Oh well, it's another day in Richville." No. Of course not. They fucking sued the shit out of those people into the fucking Stone Age. That guy's probably paying more fees still. He's probably paying more than he got out of it. Just put it that way.
Studios claimed they would have the game in players' hands in just over 18 months. Not
In 18 months? Wasn't this like 4 years ago?
finished, but at least in a playable state. After raising $1 million on Kickstarter, Jeremy announced the game would continue to raise money on its own personal website.
That makes
and
sense.
raise money it did, to the tune of over $8 million. As the deadline for the game...
Bro, I need to make an MMO.
You do. You do. You'll probably make like
I
$100
need to
million
do this. This
gazillion
is such a good idea. Like, that's such a good idea. And then you just take everybody's money, and then you disappear. And you don't make the game. That's like the... Or maybe you could make the game, but it's really bad, and you actually spend like $1 million making the game, and you pocket the other $7 million.
game approached in 2017, Jeremy announced that the game isn't going to meet the deadline he had promised due to their inability to attract talented developers.
Yeah.
The first sign that
I
things
wonder why.
really weren't going well. Fast forward to 2018, when everyone was originally expecting the game to be
Look
in a
at that
playable.
gameplay.
Fast forward to
Look at this.
2018, when everyone was originally expecting
One more.
Fast forward to 2018, when everyone was originally expecting the game to be in a playable state, and it was not. In fact, no one had any proof that there was a playable game at all. No member of the public had played a single minute of it. Later in that year, November 2018, with over $6 million in funding secured, people were beginning to worry about the future of the game. They noticed it had been nearly 2 years since they saw
Wow, look at that. Is this RuneScape 3? I never even saw the game. I've only watched OSRS. So I've never seen... So this is RuneScape 3. Holy fuck.
Yep.
Wow, it does look a little bit better, huh?
any new footage of the game. Surely, with millions of dollars and years of work put into the game, there must be something impressive to show. Almost another.
Well, they have the belt. They literally have the guy's. What the hell happened to the back of his head?
He had the egghead.
What the hell is this?
Got knocked by a club in the back of the head.
Another year passes by, and on September 6, 2019, the first gameplay footage since 2017 is released. Remember when
1 second.
The first gameplay.
There goes Jordy is. They look so wrong. They don't even look right.
Footage since 2017 is released. Remember when I told you to remember what the original gameplay footage would look like? This is what backers thought they were getting. No, it's what they were told they were getting. And this is what they got.
You have to be kidding me, bro. You have to gotta be shitting me, bro.
Oh my god.
To say that fans were disappointed would be an understatement of a lifetime. The game was now 2 years past its initial planned delivery date and 8 times over budget, and this was all they had to show for it. This was the result of 4 years of development.
Dude, imagine watching the Unreal 5 tech demo and then thinking, bro, I donated $10,000. I can't wait to have my own castle and have it look like this. And the game comes out.
Yo, this is so...
And then it's this.
And millions of dollars of backer money.
I'm a founder,
it's
guys.
Here where most of the backers soured on the game, some going as far as to threaten legal action against Soulbound. On March 11th, 2020, the Settlers of Illyria event would...
They should have a cosmetic for the founders, and it's one of those hats with a propeller on it. It says royalty on it.
Yeah, fucking clowns, dude.
Take place as a pre-alpha event to allow participation in a 45-day test of the game.
Clown mask,
Of course, this pre-alpha test included massive microtransactions to allow players to spend hundreds or even pre-alpha tests included massive microtransactions to allow players to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars buying plots of land within this unfinished game.
There you go. Buying land in an unfinished game. You know, people used to do this. They would sell land in Florida, and they had to make a law against selling land on the moon because they kept doing this in real life, too. Like, most online scams were real-life scams until somebody made a law against it.
If they wanted. Amazing. It was a disaster. Players were not happy, and now, with a much more realistic idea of what this game was going to be, the funding for the game stopped coming in. In an event that was only surprising to the backers with their heads 6 feet under the sand, on March 25th, 2020, Soulbound announced the studio would be shuttering. On April
But to our great sadness, with the failure of Settlers of Elria and 5 long months of only limited crowdfunding revenue coming in, Soulbound Studios has officially run out of money. Last night, I was forced to do something that I never thought I would have to do. I closed the online store, put Settlers of Elria map back into read-only mode, and laid off all the employees. And after that, I booked my trip over to Cancun with my $8 million, and I'm on to the next stage of my life.
6, 2020, however, there was an about face due to the threat of legal consequences. An FAQ appeared on the COE website stating that the game would very much be released and that they did not mean to imply it was shutting down. This was likely for legal reasons, as they had promised to deliver a game in exchange for the money they'd collected. To simply state that the game wasn't coming without refunding any of the money could leave them vulnerable to some legal action.
That's true. So they have to technically make a game. Now, is the game going to be any good? No, but it will be a game. It could be Tetris or Minesweeper, but it is a game.
With angry backers undeterred by this promise, on August 17th, 2020, a class
Those games got a lot of fucking money back in the day.
action lawsuit was filed demanding that Soulbound refund the money for the game.
Smart.
They failed to deliver.
Absolutely.
Soulbound would decline the demands to refund the backers, so on
No refunds. No refunds, gentlemen.
February 3rd, 2021, the case was legally filed with the court. Around the same time, Illyria was posting a couple of videos a month about the progress of the game, probably to appear as though they were still working on it. So where's the game now, 2 years after all of that? And how did the lawsuit end? Was justice served? Was the people's money returned? Was anyone held accountable for the complete mismanagement of the funds?
No.
Well, I wish I could say that the court laid the law down on this man in this practice of taking people's money without the realistic possibility of being able to deliver what was promised. I wish the court case had sent a signal to would-be Kickstarter scammers, but unfortunately the lawsuit was dismissed and Walsh escaped with everything except for his reputation. He's now—
Oh, he only has $8 million. Oh, bro, like,
working on a completely different game and a completely different engine known as Kingdoms of Illyria. My guess is this game has as much of a chance of turning into a polished finished product as Kingdoms of Illyria. He's now working on a completely different game and a completely different engine known as Kingdoms of Illyria.
I honestly think that you shouldn't be able to sue him the second time. You should have been able to sue him the first time. But, like, at a certain point, like, how much due diligence does somebody have to do before they just decide to light their own game on fire, or light their own money on fire?
My guess is this game has as much of a chance of turning into a polished, finished product as Chronicles of Illyria. Whatever you do, don't give Jeremy Walsh another dime of your money for a game that isn't yet complete, because it's probable he's selling you a bridge to nowhere. I'm not saying don't buy his game when it's finished. I'm just saying don't buy—
Well, I would assume that whenever it's finished, it's not really finished. They're just selling it. Yeah, so I mean, they're not. It's not the finished game. They're just selling the game now.
His game until it's finished, which is actually fantastic advice for any of the games on this list today. Next up, we have the day before.
Sue him the first time?
This is this time of your money.
Look at this guy. One more time. Look at this guy, dude. I wouldn't trust him with a dollar of my fucking money, dude. Look at this fucking guy. Look at his fucking chin here. It's not even done right. You want me to give him $10,000.
Time of your money for a game that isn't yet complete, because it's probable
Big
he's
ass
selling you a
background.
bridge to nowhere. I'm not saying don't buy his game when it's finished. I'm just saying don't buy
Well, I would assume that whenever it's finished, it's not really finished. They're just selling it. Yeah, so I mean they're not. It's not the finished game. They're just selling the game now.
his game until it's finished, which is actually fantastic advice for any of the games on this list today. Next up, we have The Day Before. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Crasher Nirvana is an amazing martial arts fantasy MMORPG mobile game that was just released. In this game, you will play as a warrior and experience a vast open world with immersive graphics. There are
How does a mobile game have this, but the Chronicles of Illyria couldn't figure it out for the PC? How's that possible? Like, do you guys ever think about this for like 3 seconds? Like, how is it possible we got a mobile game looks like this, but the PC games look like shit? Like, what happened?
7 classes and
Telling
roles
you,
within
bro.
the game, each
I'm
with specific
telling
skills,
you.
weapons, and appearances. In the exploration of the vast open world, you can fight with monsters and bosses in different maps and scenes to acquire materials to learn martial arts, upgrade your weapons, and practice your successive attack skills. If you get bored with your first character, you're free to change your profession. Not only that,
Looks better combat than Wulong.
you can
that's
also
what I'm
turn
saying,
into a demon. A demonized player has a completely different appearance along with more
How does
powerful abilities.
How do
In the
these mobile games have better combat animations than PC and fucking console games? We need to start giving these mobile games our money so they can start making PC games, because apparently the talent is not with these AAA companies, with these indie small companies. People are working 50 to 100 hours a week, busting out fucking mobile games because they don't have the funds to bust out a PC game. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the hard workers right there. Those are like the low minorities right there. We need to give them the money, because apparently the pampered AAA designers are just giving us half-ass shit because they don't fucking feel like working. They want to work at home and shit and fucking get pampered and get fucking foot massaged every fucking day. Maybe that's why.
process of completing tasks, you will encounter a variety of NPCs and constantly delve into the character's storyline. The game also features a deep PvP and guild vs guild system where you can team up with friends to fight together and challenge yourself with more special side stories. The game
I love how, like, a lot of these mobile games just invent these numbers. Like, what's your power level? 136 million. Oh, so it's pretty low then. You know, most normal players are up to 1 billion now.
also adds an intriguing social system that allows players whu prefer interpersonal relationships to quickly make friends, find love, and get married to other players in-game.
So what is your power level? It's 10 gazillion, 1 trillion, 5,306,000.
So be sure to check out this
Okay.
unique
That escalated
MMORPG
quickly.
within a gorgeous
Oh
and
my
mysterious
God.
setting. Log into the game now and get 200
What?
consecutive draws for free. It's highly possible for you to get rare drops, pets, and skins, so download
I
it now
bet it
using the
is.
link in the description below and use
bet
my
it is.
code
It's Ninetales.
GIFT2023 for epic rewards. Thank you for listening, and now let's get back to the video. This is the most recent possible scam to be added to this list, and I say possible scam because it's not really confirmed yet.
I do not think that I have seen sufficient evidence that The Day Before is a scam. I actually don't think so.
Really?
This story starts
see
in
this
January of 2021 when a developer known as Fantastic dropped the trailer for their upcoming title, The Day Before. It was announced as an open world survival MMO set in a deadly post-pandemic America that has been overrun by flesh-hungry infected. It caught massive attention. The public was incredibly excited for this idea.
Oh, yeah.
So
People
they
love
announced
this.
that on March 31st, 2021, they would
People have always wanted a survival shooter, like, MMO FPS game. And people
yeah.
have wanted this ever since, like, the 2000s. And there were a couple of attempts at it. Like, right now we have Destiny. I think that's probably the biggest game like that.
Yep.
But besides that, you've also got, fucking, what's that other game?
Warframe.
Shit. Planet Side 2. Yeah, there it is. The Division, yeah, a few more. But, like, nothing
Division,
has,
yeah.
like, really hit. Holy shit. Oh, yo, what's up, boys? Thank you, Shy Lily, for the raid. Thank you very much. Oh, my God. Wow. Thank you, guys. We're watching a video about games that are fucking scams, or at least they might be scams.
Show
Yeah,
everyone
thank you
some
very
gameplay
much.
footage. The day before it was set to air on March 30th, they ended up delaying the trailer a week due to
Right.
technical problems. The new airing date would be a week later, April 6th, 9 a.m. And so on April 6th, everyone tuned in and were met
Okay.
with a starting soon screen. They would watch this screen for over 9 hours until the stream was finally shut down.
What?
So on April 6th, everyone tuned in and were met with a starting soon screen. They would watch this screen for over 9 hours, delaying the trailer a week due to
Right.
technical problems.
Oh my God! Wow. Thank you, guys. We're watching a video about game.
Yeah, but I've been looking for a looter shooter for the longest time. If I could get a looter shooter, I'd be fucking happy as shit. Now, if there's an option, have a little stored as like PvP option, whatever, just an ability or whatever, I can unleash it. That'd be great too, like a warrior shooter kind of. See, I want a warrior shooter looter. Um, like I want to have some type of sword combat, but not like so much that it overwhelms. But I want to have some swords in it, and I want to have guns in it, and I want to have maybe some minor abilities. Obviously, raids, dungeons, big MMO, open world. Um, sort of like a modern but sort of futuristic world. Because I feel like if we were to travel into space and stuff, not everything's gonna be like futuristic, right? There's gonna be people that are probably gonna be in the Stone Age. Like if you travel the whole universe, people are gonna be developing in different periods of time, and depending on who you visit, there are gonna be people that are gonna be very advanced, and there's gonna be people that are not. So I want it to be kind of realistic, in that sense. Having cavemen aliens, and then having advanced aliens, and then having caveman humans, and then having advanced humans, and then in between, kind of like modern humans and then modern aliens, and having that kind of dynamic, so we can kind of see the past, present, future. That it's not that time isn't really something that the further you go in time, the more futuristic you get, because time is just it's just an illusion, right? So we can all live in the same time stream, and be all stuck in a different point in time. Like there could be people that are like just born, and they're 100 billion years away. Like we're a billion years from them, but we're living in the present together. So it's kind of weird. And then there's people that are probably at the end of their planet's life cycle, a trillion years, and they look at us like we're babies.
Games that are fucking scams, or at least they might be scams.
Show
And it'd be great to have that. I'm just saying, like a looter shooter. I love my standard MMOs with like warrior classes and knights and other things like that. But I don't know, like some of them just make the game a little too complicated for me. I just want something simple, enjoyable, so that I can have fun with my friends. It doesn't have to be so crazy and chaotic. I don't want to have 1,000,005 things to do. I just want to have the basic things to do, and make them fun and refreshing. Every 3-4 months. By adding content.
everyone
thank you
some
very much.
gameplay footage. The day before it was set to air on March 30th, they ended up delaying the trailer a week due to
Right.
technical problems. The new airing date would be a week later, April 6th, 9 a.m. And so on April 6th, everyone tuned in and were met
Okay.
with a starting soon screen. They would watch this screen for over 9 hours until the stream was finally shut down.
What?
So on April 6th, everyone tuned in and were met with a starting soon screen. They would watch this screen for over 9 hours until the stream was finally shut down.
Bro, that reminds me of that girl. Oh my fucking God, that girl, Taylor, fucking, she has like a French last name or something like that, and she would just stand off the camera. Oh, rocking, yes.
On April 9th,
0.1
2021,
seconds.
13 minutes of gameplay was finally revealed. The 13 minutes of gameplay looked great as far as everyone could tell. It would look so great that the game
Are
would
those
become the most
pineapples?
wishlisted game on Steam, over top of games from AAA studios like Spider-Man, Stalker 2, and even Bethesda's Starfield. This
Yeah, I
caught
wonder
people's
why.
attention. Fantastic accomplished this without having a great track record to stand on. Looking back at their history, they sold early great as far as everyone. So on April 6th, everyone tuned in and were met with a starting soon screen. They would watch this screen for over 9 hours until the stream was finally shut down. On
Bro, that reminds me of that girl. Oh my fucking god, that girl, Taylor, fucking, she has like a French last name or something like that, and she would just stand off the camera. Oh, rocking, yes.
April 9th,
0.1
2021,
seconds.
13 minutes of gameplay was finally revealed. The 13 minutes of gameplay looked great as far as everyone could tell. It would look so great that the game
Are
would
those
become the most
pineapples?
wishlisted game on Steam, over top of games from AAA studios like Spider-Man, Stalker 2, and even Bethesda's Starfield. This
Yeah, I
caught
wonder
people's
why.
attention. Fantastic accomplished this without having a great track record to stand on. Looking back at their history, they sold early access to their game called Wild 8 and then almost immediately abandoned it.
Ooh, not good.
They moved on to a game called Dead Dozen, which had even more problems. It went into early access and shut down completely 3 months later.
This one's gonna be
Things
different.
kept getting weirder though.
Yeah, this one will
The
be
trailer
different,
looked
though.
too good to be true, literally. Developers would even react to the video, stating that at the very least this looked like a vertical slice of the game that they had just created for the purposes of marketing it.
Is this in game?
I remember the character in the cinematic. We watched the video, and the girl was wearing like really tight pants, and she had a big ass, and nobody was even paying attention to the gameplay at all. Like, it was like a 17-minute video, and people were like, yeah, I don't know about this game. I don't know. Maybe if they release gameplay for it, I'll have to watch it. And it's like, you just watched a 17-minute video of gameplay. We're like, no, I didn't.
Day before.
It is.
Oh my.
I'm getting very The Division vibes from this.
Wow. The shadows are incredible. The lighting is just excellent.
Told you,
Look at
show
this.
reflections.
Oh man.
In an MMO though,
That's-
I'm skeptical.
How can they do that? I'm getting a feeling this has all been rendered. This is not.
I think it's more of a vertical slice on first impression.
Yeah.
A vertical slice, if you don't know, is this doesn't mean that the whole game is done and it looks like this. This is probably a section that they popped out, and we're able to develop and carve out and make certain things look final when they're not. That's what
I
happened
agree
with
with
Watch
you.
Dogs. That's what happened with Cyberpunk for a lot.
So it's kind of like whenever you take a picture, or like you clean up your room, and then you throw all of the stuff behind the door and hope your mom doesn't close the door and see what's behind the door. Yeah.
Out of it, so we're I'm a little skeptical.
Are about to get heated.
Put everything under the bed.
Here's the thing, and this is why I think it's pre-baked.
yeah.
See, that's supposed to be another player. Can we
Right.
go back? See the way they come in? It looks like it's an animated character that's not another player, but that means that those
Well,
can't
I mean,
actually be other players.
It could be. It could very well be. They have their own, AI players. They
to
could
move
be.
like that, they would
They
have to be AI, because if it
Right.
was a real player, the animation wouldn't
Well, I don't.
be that
wouldn't be
smooth.
that
When you
smooth.
actually play a game, you're kind of jittery.
This by itself
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't find that to be very strong evidence, though. I think that the other examples, and just like kind of like a logic example, yeah, number one, not necessarily. Number two, it could be another player, but they're moving in that specific way, so it looks good for the video. Number three, it could be an AI generated, like fucking like NPC, which I also think is fine. Like, there are many other examples where I think this was not really that big of a deal.
It does definitely.
itself wasn't totally unheard of, but with this studio's history in mind, it starts to cast doubt on the viability of the game being delivered as promised. Things would continue to get weirder when Fantastic used a bait and switch tactic on their fans, pretending a big new announcement was coming for the day before. And then when the announcement arrived, it was actually for a completely different game? Essentially using their clout they had gained for the hype around the day before to advertise and launch another game they were working on, called
smart.
Prop Night. People weren't happy about it at
Prop
all,
Night.
but it was somewhat smoothed over when the studio also provided a launch day of June 21,
To be fair, their recent reviews are mostly positive.
2022. At that time, that meant the game was just over 8 months away, so people were pretty excited. Fast forward to May 3rd, a little over a month before the game's scheduled launch date, Fantastic posted an announcement letting the community know that they would be giving a big update about the game that week. And what was the big update they hyped up? The big update they got that week was that they were delaying the launch of the game another 9 months, into March of 20.
Oh, March. The release date of the game will be March 1st, 2023. Wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty soon. In 3 months. 4 months for me.
Did we miss it?
Oh, we did.
Oh my, how did we miss this? Oh, fuck, guys.
Oh wait, I'm thinking it's
We missed the
2024.
launch. Fuck.
2023. The reason for the delay?
Oh.
Well, there was such massive
We're so
interest in the
dumb.
game that they wanted to spend more time making sure they got it right. Honestly, for a
Smart.
studio that had never seen this kind of interest, to look at its project landing at the top of the Steam wishlist and decide, hey, we better spend the time to get this right. Well, it isn't all that surprising.
that's
Among
smart.
the changes that would be made,
If I were them, I would do the same thing. Because if this game comes out and it's bad, it's a bad game. That's it, period, for forever, that it's done. Like Cyberpunk, like BFA, like mini games. Like, yeah, if it comes out, it's bad, it's bad.
they would be switching the game over from UE4 to UE5. This also isn't surprising, as we've seen multiple studios make the same move around the same time. So far, we have a lot of red flags that could be genuine mistakes or intentional deception, but there wasn't anything you could point at and say, these guys are definitely acting in bad faith. That was until they later posted a video asking for people to work on their game for free as volunteers. Naturally, alarm bells were really
I
sounding.
mean, as a Twitch streamer, I mean, this is kind of like normal.
Now, it was weird that the studio was promising to deliver a game far, far beyond anything they'd ever created before. A game massive AAA studios are afraid to attempt because of the budget it demands. But people were willing to give them the benefit of the doubt until they had a reason not to. And for a lot of people, this was that reason. How are you going to make a game that by its very nature required a AAA budget, all while using
Well, you just make all the people that were working for it work for free. I mean, it's actually kind of an ingenious solution. Because so you have this problem where it's like, oh, fuck. Like, we have to pay all these people. Well, what are we going to do? And somebody smart in the office is like, what if we just don't pay them? What if we just tell them that we're not going to pay them and that's it? And they're like, do you think that's going to work? Apparently.
Paid volunteers. What kind of quality would that provide? And what kind of a studio do you have to be to even be willing to publicly ask for such things? If things weren't bizarre enough,
I don't know.
Terrible quality.
I can commend somebody for just being that ballsy.
on January 4th, 2023, Fantastic released another video on their YouTube that was a poorly hidden ad for another product they were developing.
Ooh,
some kind of office
I
app.
see.
The whole thing was pretending to be talking about the studio and its development of the day before, but actually it just felt like you were watching a really weird ad for some product. And that's because you were. They had now used their attention that they garnered for the day before to launch 2 other projects that were not the day before. And they had also tried to get people to work on their game for free, while also delaying the release date of the game twice. The longer the story goes on, the more the red flags pile up. And people noticed. They ended up having to turn off the comments and likes and dislikes on videos to hide the ire of the community. On the bright side, the game was going to be launching in just 3 months.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
Fantastic's chance to vindicate themselves was fast approaching. That is, until it wasn't. On January 24th, 2023, the most wishlisted game on Steam was removed from Steam. In another twist, Fantastic would go on to say that it was a bug that caused it to be removed from the Steam store. But then Fantastic would later that same day post a separate post that contradicted that, saying 5 days earlier they found out that someone owned the rights to the name the day before. Unfortunately for Fantastic, this also was a provable lie, as there was evidence that they had received word their trademark for the name had been rejected months prior. 2 different posts with 2 different lies in the same day from these guys didn't do a lot to maintain and restore the faith of the people excited for the day before. With the game not even out yet, all of the red flags, and now a trail of lies leaking out of the studio, things were getting weirder than ever. people were beginning to worry if this was even a real game at all. The only trailer they'd seen seemed to have been at best a vertical slice of the game, or at worst entirely pre-rendered. But that was all going to be a problem of the past though, as Fantastic was due to show their gameplay trailer featuring real gamelay this time.
That's true, yeah, so like they're gonna fix it so it's not really a big deal. Like all the haters are just gonna get owned, and they're just gonna set the record straight and put them all to sleep.
At the last second, they canceled, stating that they needed to talk to their lawyers about their name being taken before releasing the trailer.
All right, never mind.
The bad news
Never
didn't
mind,
stop
guys.
there.
Never
The
mind.
trailer wasn't the only thing to be delayed. The game's launch was also going to be delayed again for another 6 months to November of 2023. The internet was now crying scam. Everyone was beginning to think this game didn't exist. In response, Fantastic would turn around shortly thereafter and drop the game.
And they would say that it's not in fact, guys, I know that there have been some of you out there who think that our game is a scam. It is in fact not a scam. There's no need to worry. I know some people might think that it is a scam. It's not a scam. Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Play trailer for the game. As expected, it didn't look nearly as good as the highly touched up trailer that came before it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the fact that it looked worse now wasn't surprising and isn't all that uncommon in the industry. They tend to show very early on a concept of what they are aiming to make that ends up being far more attractive than what they're actually able to deliver on down the road. We've seen a lot of AAA studios make this mistake in the past and then get rightfully called out on it by their communities afterwards.
That looks pretty good.
What was odd about this trailer was that the 10 minutes or so of gameplay showed a massive world that felt far from finished.
World.
It was devoid of action, a lot of walking, and not a lot going on, particularly for a game that was originally supposed to release a year ago. On top of that, viewers would also immediately notice that many of the assets in the game were purchased straight off of the Unreal Engine shop and set into the game nearly untouched. And then finally, to make things even weirder, the trailer even had sections that were an exact copy of other game trailers. In fact, it wasn't just trailers that were copies of other games. Even the game's logo was a copy of another game's logo. And so was its art. This game,
I mean, you just, the thing is, well, you take everything that people have already done because you know that works. I mean, you know it works, and so you might as well just keep doing it.
I was saying
it may still launch, but we would have to be ignoring an absolute ton of red flags to say with any level of confidence that the launch will go well. If it does end up being a scam, it will have been an impressive one, as it will be the first scam MMO to have achieved the status of most wishlisted game on Steam. I hope they prove—
I don't think it's a scam. I actually do not think that The Day Before is a scam. The reason why I don't think that it's a scam is because they're not asking for money. Like, who are they scamming? They're scamming the publisher. The publisher for this game is a literal, like, multi-hundreds of millions of dollars company that has gone on record and said that they have reviewed the game and it's actually a game and it's actually happening. So unless you think that you, as a Redditor, YouTube commenter, YouTube viewer, have a better insight into this than the fucking multi-$100+ million company that is producing this game, come on. Maybe they're just fucking dumb. Scamming my time by watching a 10-minute trailer? Yeah, I just don't think it's a scam. It's not a scam, it's a shit game? Yes, I think so. Multi-$100 company? Yeah, sorry, I was for a second there I thought I was talking about Blizzard. It could just be a marketing scheme. I doubt that a massive publisher, like the one that's publishing this game, I forgot the name, would want to attach themselves to something that's as problematic as this. There's no reason to. And also the publisher is mainly a mobile game publisher, which means that, like, reputation doesn't matter as much, but it still does matter because you have to have people that buy into the gotcha of, like, the next game. Phase drama? Oh, is there phase drama? I don't know.
All of the doubters wrong, but as of right now, history would suggest this game will be sold in early access before dropping in a state that is completely unfit for release, ultimately being abandoned by the developer yet again. Where is the game today? 2 launch delays later and 6 months before its newest scheduled release date.
2 launch delays, so far. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Well, on February 16th, 2023, the developer released a devlog where they talked about the journey of the game so far.
Oh,
The
this is about
website
how
is
they're
still
gonna make
up,
it.
but if you click add to wishlist, it just takes you to the front page of Steam because you can't actually add it to your wishlist because the game doesn't exist on Steam anymore. This game hasn't stolen anyone's money yet, so
That's
it's not
right.
a scam yet, but the developers have been caught lying. They've been caught copying other developers' work. They've promised the moon, and they have a history of selling unfinished games and then walking away from them. Hopefully Fantastic keeps delaying their game until it's finished, but I wouldn't spend any money on this one until it's proven to be a finished, playable product. There's just way too many red flags at this point.
If you want to be kept up to date on how this all unfolds, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button.
I don't know why it got
And maybe
taken off
even like
Steam.
the video and leave a comment if you're enjoying it. For the algorithm gods. Next up, Dream World.
A game just
Oh, God.
I started looking at the links and liking the original videos.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here we go.
described as being the infinite open world MMO where you could sculpt the world and create
Yes.
anything you wanted with
Do
a
anything
massive
you wanna
catalog
do.
of objects in one single world with millions
That's
of
right.
other players.
Millions
You could
at the
explore
same time.
thousands of unique biomes and fight and tame Dreamworld's incredible
Absolutely.
creatures. This game claimed it would be the last game you ever played.
That's
this
right.
should have been the first red flag because the slogan doesn't even make sense. The Dreamworld Kickstarter, led by Zachary Kaplan and Garrus
This guy apparently just had like rich parents and they just pretty much paid for everything, and so things kind of worked itself out.
and Bellic made a lot of promises that were more or less impossible to fulfill. But who are they? What is Zachary Kaplan's history that allows him to believe he is capable of taking these people's money and delivering on his massive promise?
Okay.
Well, he opened a crowdfund for a speaker you wear on your chest back in 2015 because he claims he was hit by a car not once but twice while running with his earphones in. This man does
Wait, what?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, I could see. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
doesn't need a speaker on his chest. He needs to stop running in the freeway.
Guy thinks he's
Eventually,
Iron
he
Man.
stopped that crowdfund and promised all of his backers they would be able to purchase these speakers in just a few short months. That was in 2015. Believe he is capable of taking these people's money and delivering on his massive promise.
Okay.
Well, he opened a crowdfund for a speaker you wear on your chest back in 2015 because he claims he was hit by a car not once but twice while running with his earphones in. This man does
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, I could see. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
doesn't need a speaker on his chest. He needs to stop running in the freeway.
Guy thinks he's
Eventually,
Iron
he
Man.
stopped that crowdfund and promised all of his backers they would be able to purchase these speakers in just a few short months. That was in 2015, and here
Did it
we are
happen?
8 years later, and the website is still up with the product still listed.
Oh, it says coming soon. Oh, I see. So it'll be soon then. Okay. Wait, it's $150? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. But $15 for the
Are you
strap.
fucking insane?
I don't know what the other thing is.
It as coming soon. After that, he started a clothing brand, and it doesn't seem that panned out for him either. And neither of these projects are particularly
Oh, wow. Because it's like, that's a tiger. You know what I mean? That's cool because it's like a fucking, like a tiger and shit.
horrible ideas. I
crazy.
won't fault anyone for trying to be an inventor or an entrepreneur. By themselves, these ideas are completely fine. The
No,
problem
but they're not though because it didn't work out. It didn't work. So like, if you have somebody that takes 2 L's and it's like, you know, I got another one in me, I don't want to back that. This guy fucks up. Hey, you know what fuck ups do? They fuck up. That's what happens. This guy's a fuck up. He got hit by a car twice. For the same reason.
problem arises when, with those two failed projects behind him, he decided he would then use everything he learned about creating wearable speakers and t-shirts and applied that incredibly relevant knowledge to creating a massively multiplayer online game. Zachary Kaplan and his partner Garrison Bellick would create a Kickstarter and start hyping up their new game, and the fact that it would be able to have millions of people play together and modify the entire world at will to their heart's content. Fortunately, they didn't mislead backers by saying that they had come up with the solution to all of the problems that prevented this technology from existing already. Because
I see, yeah. So they've solved the problem that all of these big game studios could never solve. As you can see here.
Because that would have been lying to their investors.
The largest digital world that exists today can only have thousands of people. Then we came up with a solution that allows us to have millions.
What is it?
Okay, well, that's not a good sign, is it? Naturally, all of this took place where many of these stories take place, Kickstarter. While other MMOs with $400 million budgets were struggling to achieve a fraction of what Dreamworld was promising, these two were going to do it all with a Kickstarter campaign for $10,000. That's right, $10,000 and 2 people to develop something multi-million-dollar AAA.
Yeah, these guys are gonna they're just gonna they're just gonna whip something up and just make the best game you'll ever play, you know? Just get it done.
Studios haven't accomplished with hundreds of developers at their disposal. What could go wrong? In what I can only describe as the result of people pulling out their wallets while temporarily detached from their brains, this Kickstarter would somehow hit its goal. And then some, earning a total of $64,000.
Why are they using fake money? I never seen a 20 or a 5 that looks like that. I thought Abraham Lincoln's supposed to be on that. What the hell are they using fake money for?
$1,706. Despite the fact that it looked like every ounce of footage for this game was nothing more than random assets from the Unreal Engine store. Like every ounce of footage for this game was nothing more than random assets from the Unreal. The fact that it looked like every ounce of footage for this game was nothing more than random assets from the Unreal Engine store slapped into the game with no rhyme or reason. It looked like that because that's exactly what it was, as Callum improved on his YouTube channel by showing each asset pack in the store. Even the main protagonist featured in all of the shots is the default mannequin from the Unreal Engine. The red flags were everywhere, but somehow that didn't stop 4 people from donating nearly $2,000 to the...
Wait, so the main character was just, like, a fucking placeholder?
Game. Once you have backed the game, you were promised access to the pre-alpha. However, the fine print stipulated that you wouldn't actually receive access to the pre-alpha until you also forced 2 of your friends to back the project as well.
Oh, that's smart. You know, they do this with a lot of those these schemes where it's like you can't just get addicted, you have to get your friends addicted too. It's like, yeah, we've seen this, right? It's like whether you're selling juice, knives, stuff like that, yeah.
It's things like this that start to push this entire Kickstarter farther away from ignorance and closer to malice. As soon as the Kickstarter closed and they had all of their money, they went to work on the game, right? Well, no. They immediately went on vacation, causing everyone to wonder if they'd run with the money. They would eventually come back, however.
I do have to give it to them. The Dreamworld guys, they did release a game. And you've got to have some big fucking balls to release what they did. You gotta have a massive dick to say, this is our game. You can play it on Windows 95.
Oh my god.
And resume work on the game. They started a Discord server that used 14 to 16-year-olds as moderators.
A full-time job was promised to 14-year-old mod Jack, who left the community.
So they wouldn't have to pay anyone. Like many of the stories on this list, this is one that just kept on giving. Even Zachary's ex-girlfriend chimed in on the whole situation to explain that the 9 years of game development experience Zachary claimed he had was actually nothing more than him writing ideas down on paper, at best. Garrison's claims,
oh guys, I have more than I have like probably 20 years of game development experience then. Yeah, I got like at least 20, like minimum, probably more than that.
Of being a former employee at Google were also a bit misleading, as it turns out
he used Google. He searched for things before on Google. So I mean, he basically works there, right?
was nothing more than an intern for a few months. She also explains that she broke up with Zach for a number of reasons, one of which being that when she went to get her wedding ring refitted so that she could actually wear it, the jeweler explained that it was so fake that it would break in half if they tried.
Oh my god. He gave her a fake wedding ring. Wow. The guy got hit by a car 2 times for the same reason.
People are just looking for cars.
I'm not at all materialistic, and I don't care about the size or the quality of.
Oh no. The thing is, like, I don't think it matters. Like, I don't care. I bet if this guy had given her a ring pop ring, she would have probably responded better to him giving her a diamond ring, saying it's a diamond ring, and then it's not true. It's the fact that it's deceptive is the problem.
A wedding ring, I'd argue it's the least important aspect of any marriage. But buying your fiance a ring so fake it can't be resized and then gaslighting her for asking about it shows severe lack of communication and maturity. But this was some pretty damning information. We basically confirmed that both of these guys greatly misled their investors where it pertained to their previous experience in this type of a project. Fortunately for them, they would have a chance to prove all of their doubters wrong. As with all things like this, eventually the product would be delivered.
That's right.
Or
and
not.
It did
On
get
May
delivered.
20th of 2021, we'd finally get to see Dreamworld in all of its glory.
Yes.
The moment everyone had been waiting for. Content creator Skiasso posted a video of himself.
Bro, you remember this guy? And he was so excited and happy about this game. He was like, bro, I know there have been haters, but I think it's really going to come through. It's going to happen. This guy had like 100 subscribers. And, like, he's just going through the alpha for the game, and he's like, oh, God. Oh, God. It's like, guys, maybe one day it'll be good.
Playing the alpha.
And by the way, like, huge W's for him, because he actually came out and says, I was wrong. It is bad. I was swindled. And it can happen to you.
Let's just say, it was somehow worse than anyone expected. This footage was pure nightmare fuel. It looked like something that someone's toddler could have made in about 5 minutes of spamming random assets into an open world in the Unreal Engine. It was unforgivably bad. Probably because that's exactly what Zachary did. In fact, I'm positive someone could have made something far more attractive given just 5 minutes in the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, probably.
Leaving everyone wondering, where did the money go and what was the time spent on?
Well, did you see the picture of the vacation? Okay. Well.
But hey, maybe the game just needed more time. It was an ambitious project after all. Well, that major reveal was 2 years ago. So where's the game now? Nearly 2 years after becoming quote-unquote playable. To their credit, they did continue to try and at least give the impression that they were trying to improve the game for some time, posting weekly updates on their website and on YouTube. However, those updates mysteriously stopped a little over 2 months ago.
I think that, like, all of the YouTube reviewers should get together in, like, some fucking Illuminati thing and just try to hype up a game that's this bad and have everybody collectively talk about how great it is. And like, fucking make all the viewers feel like they're in some kind of fucking, like Twilight Zone fever dream. Where everybody's talking about how fucking lit this game is, and every content creator is like, bro, this is gonna change the world.
For all their work, their YouTube channel in its 2 years of
happens.
existence has managed to gather about 500 subscribers. So what is the future of Dreamworld? I don't think there is one. These guys set out to make an ambitious game and failed. That in itself would have been acceptable if it weren't for the fact that they misled people, claiming they had years of experience in an industry that they didn't in an effort to get their money. Claiming that they had a solution to a problem that prevented games like this from existing in the first place when they didn't, which begs the question, at which point do we call these things a con? At what point do they slide past ineptitude and into malicious intent?
I think it's very obvious what the difference is. So if you are misleading people knowingly, like, for example, saying that you worked at Google or saying that you have 9 years of game design experience, I think that is very clearly misleading people. And also, to an extent, I think that gross negligence and gross mismanagement is the same as misleading people, and it should be treated the same. Because if you take people's money, at a certain point, it doesn't matter why it didn't work out, you still lost their money.
Let me know down in the comments below. These guys are $65,000 richer, and all it cost them was their entire reputation. Zachary Kaplan and Garrison Bellick left quite a trail of evidence on the internet at this point, telling the world exactly what type of people they
just make a new name, just invent a new name.
are. Thanks to YouTubers like Callum Upton and Kira TV, it's been incredibly well documented, and I think it's safe to say no one in their right mind would work with these guys or give them money in the future.
We'll see about that.
Next up, we have Identity. Identity is another game put on Kickstarter way back in 2015 that promised the moon. It was going to deliver not just any MMO experience, but the MMO experience, where you could do literally anything in a game full of other people doing literally anything they wanted. The world and its economy would be determined by the players playing the game. What did they need from the public? Just $150,000 to deliver an experience that AAA studios would spend hundreds of millions on. But this was 2015, before we'd seen a ton of scam Kickstarter projects materialize and fail to deliver. People's guards were down, and so they managed to collect 10 times their goal, with over $1.5 million earned. How did they do this? Well, a handful of assets purchased from the Unreal Engine shop and placed into a world of course. We are
Leave your mark. Gain fame through your expressions. Wow. Gaming really is something nowadays, isn't it?
starting to see a trend here, aren't we? Pledgers were even able to spend $5,000 for packages that would allow them to go into the office and game with the development team. Except there wasn't one. There was no office.
Passport stamp, a unique backer hat, closed beta access, plus $15,000 of in-game cash, plus used motorcycle, plus sports car, plus semi-truck, plus penthouse apartment, plus a 5-car garage, closet stacked with a dozen random outfits, plus 60-minute video conference with John and the development team, plus design your own unique in-game t-shirt, plus invitation to visit the office and spend half the day gaming with the team.
And there was no development team, just two friends. The studio was only just created immediately prior to this Kickstarter by John Vanderswet. One of the consistent problems with all of these scams is the lies. Every development studio on this list has a habit of lying. These lies were a large part of why people were willing to give their money to these projects in the first place.
Yeah, of course.
It is these lies that should absolutely come back to haunt them in court, but for some reason never do. In the case of John Vanderswet, his lie was that he had invested lots of his own money in the game and that he just needed the last...
Well, it was a lot of his money because he had $100 and he invested like $50, so that's like half of his total net worth into this game. That's a lot of money. Yeah, $50 is a lot of fucking money, man. He had $100, now he's only got 50 left. He spent half his money on this shit.
$150,000 to get it over the finish line. He even went as far as saying, should we meet our goal here in Kickstarter, we'll have everything we need to ensure that Identity gets completed. As mentioned, the game received 10 times what he asked for. John received $1.5 million. So according to him, this was now a slam dunk. He needed $150,000 but received $1.5 million. The estimated delivery of this game, according to the Kickstarter page, December of 2016. The Kickstarter closed and they began accepting additional funding on their own personal website.
That's smart,
it wasn't until 2016, the year the game was due to release, that people started becoming suspicious of the product.
You've got to remember, like 2015-16, this was in the dark ages of MMOs, where there were no good MMOs that had come out. Final Fantasy was still garbage. Warlords of Draenor was in full swing. Like every other MMO was dead, bad, or garbage. So like people were throwing their money at anything.
Project, noticing that outside of the initial video of some pre-made assets placed into Unreal Engine, the only thing the developers had produced for the public were some sketches and some conversations. Yet another thing this game has in common with the rest of the games on this list. With the beta supposedly just months away, the developers still had zero footage of the game to show to the backers. Heck, they couldn't even manage to share a screenshot. The developers explained that they were simply too busy to communicate with the public due to the fact that they were hard at work on the game. So they were claiming they didn't have time to do this.
Simply hitting the print screen button here will do the trick. The image is now on your clipboard, ready to paste into Paint or other imaging programs.
Yeah, but like, I mean, then they have to use it on another program and then name it and then put it on the website, and you have to talk to the website developer, and then you have to upload to the website, and then you have the resolution of the picture, and like, what if the resolution is wrong? And so like, you put all these things together, and it's like, there's just no way we can get this out in time. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's at this point that the people with a brain started to realize something was wrong, while the zealots without a brain attacked them for questioning their developers. This is the stage we see all too often in these publicly funded game development cycles. The first people to talk critically about the game and question how realistic its plans are crucified by those who have chosen to
Remember, this is what happened to me with New World, is I spoke out, and they hated me for it.
Believe in their new higher power without questioning it. A couple of months before the beta due date, they announced that something playable would be available in 2017. This was a delay, but not a massive one. They followed this announcement up with an actual video of gameplay, much to everyone's surprise.
Amazing.
The video received hundreds of thousands of views and was mostly well received by the audience. But now, with 2017 coming and going, despite the promise of a playable beta releasing that year, an announcement would come on November 3rd, 2017, stating that something playable would be released on March 21st, 2018. It wouldn't be the whole game, but rather just a small module, not the entire world that you could do anything you wanted, anywhere you wanted, but instead one small town square.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you're not really going to get the thing that you were paying for, but like, you will get something.
At this point, Asylum had raised over $800,000, over 5 times what it asked for. It was also behind schedule and proposing to deliver a small fraction of the game that was promised. But at least it was something tangible.
Oh, that's smart for them to put Lyric on the screen, since like Lyric plays a lot of games like this. So it's like, hopefully they're trying to bait his audience into watching it, or to get him to look at it. That's smart.
Players would finally be able to boot up and play. On February 12th, 2018, they finally released a trailer with actual gameplay footage. Although this footage was incredibly underwhelming. As much as backers wanted to see this gameplay, they were ultimately disappointed with what they got. This game still looked like little more than some basic assets slapped into the Unreal Engine, something we're growing all too familiar with now. Backers had one thing to keep their hopes up: the playable beta was only weeks away.
Yeah.
That is until Asylum delayed it again, but this time only by a month. Given players had waited
I'm starting to see a trend here.
this long, 1 extra month was not a big deal.
Yeah, true.
Then, days before the launch, they delayed it again, this time indefinitely. And why not? They had at this point made over $1 million by delivering absolutely nothing. Players still knew next to nothing about the game, something that seems to be quite key to getting thousands of people to part with millions of dollars. Tell them you're creating something amazing while also telling them nothing at all, and watch how easily...
Well, exactly, because the less that you tell people, the more that you can get out of them. Because everything in their mind is always going to be better than what the reality is.
A fool and his money are separated. On November 30th, 2018, the game would finally be playable on Steam, or at least the Town Square module, which is just a name for a handful of buildings slapped together around a few streets that players could walk around.
Wait, where's he going?
Players could no longer imagine what the game would be. Instead, they had to face what it actually was:
He's on
an unplayable, unsalvageable mess. And so, with the illusion shattered, players would stop sending funding to the game. The game instantly received a mostly negative review on Steam, the worst that you could get. So where is Asylum Entertainment and its MMO 5 years later? Almost none of the bugs or problems that existed at launch have been fixed, but it gets better. It seems John Vanderswet, emboldened by successfully scamming his backers, couldn't help himself. In 2020, he would go on to explain that the studio needed more money to finish Identity.
That's smart.
The game that had basically seen no progress in almost 2 years since its release. He explained that another developer had asked
Well, because if you can get money for them once, at that point, the thing is, it's easier to get money from people multiple times, because then they're invested into it, you know?
Asylum to be the publisher of their mobile game. Now, you might be wondering, why would any developer in their right mind go to this man to publish their game, given his 100% track record of failure in delivering games as a studio? Well, what he did not tell everyone is that the developer that approached him to publish their game was him. Yeah, he created a second studio to develop a mobile game while he was supposedly working on Identity. And
that's smart. This guy, let him cook. Smart
he needed
guy.
us to give him more money to fund this new game so that Identity would have the money it needed to finish. He even created a
This
brand
is
new
like, bro, can I borrow $5? No, I'll pay you back the $10 from last week tomorrow. But yeah, could I get $5 today? Cause like, yeah, it's like, cause then I gotta have like a fucking, like my money's tied up right now, but like tomorrow I'm gonna get paid and like, then I'll get you this $5. You know what? I'll just get you 20 back. All right. So like, if I could just get $5.
Kickstarter campaign
Yo,
for the
King,
new
I'm
mobile game
begging
called Furballs. This is perhaps the most infuriating part of people getting away with this. They dive right into it again. He claimed that none of the money from Identity went into the new mobile game and that he only worked on it on his free time while he wasn't working on Identity. Two things that are all but certainly a lie. Fortunately, this time the Kickstarter campaign would be a complete failure. People were not as easily fooled by John given the reputation that he had now rightfully earned for himself.
He should have just done it under a fake name. Why would he do it under the same name? That was stupid. He should have just invented a new person. Like, just have an AI create a new character, a new human being, and then just use that person and be like, that's me now. I'm now Bill. And Bill is just a lifelong MMORPG fan. He loves video games. He grew up playing Pac-Man, and now he's trying to make one of his own. He's got 15 years in the space, in the industry. He worked for Microsoft and, like, you know, Photoshop him next to Bill Gates and just fucking make an entirely new person.
Kira TV did some great research on John after the fact and discovered that he had consistently moved into a more expensive home, despite John claiming that he lost money on the venture and had no other form of employment. One could theorize that a substantial amount of the money that was due to be invested into Identity actually was just used to buy John a nicer house. If that's the case, would anyone be surprised? Recently, Asylum put up a post a few months back at the end of 2022, reaffirming that the game is still the studio's main priority, though they are also working on other projects.
It's been a long time, far too long, since I gave you an update on Identity and its progress. When are we going to see a new update? That's a difficult one to answer, but I do hope fairly soon.
Projects now. Tragically, the game itself is still available on Steam for $30, though with the reviews
We hit a bit of a vicious circle here, where in order to improve funding and development, we need to give you some awesome updates to build trust, but at the same time, we had to feed our families, and we couldn't do that without the funding. So we decided that we could start some smaller projects in-house to raise money for Identity, and that's actually gone quite well. Yeah, it's gonna be fine, guys.
That it's garnered, I doubt anyone is falling for it. After 8 years and $1.6 million raised, all John was able to produce was a few assets slapped into Unreal Engine in a completely unplayable state. Whether it was malicious intent or complete ignorance, I would never invest in John Vanderswit ever again. He's proven that he's willing to embellish on his experience as a developer and failed to reach unrealistic goals.
I've always said this, I'll say it again. If you're doing something and you can't make sure that you can enforce the contract, you need, like, the moment that anything, even the smallest detail is off. If they say to meet you at McDonald's and they're at the other Taco Bell, nope. I gotta go home. I gotta go. If you're buying it for $450 and they give you $440, nope. No, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Because anything, fucking anything like that, if a person is operating in good faith, they're not going to lie to you at all.
While moving into a nice house and attempting to cash in on a mobile game that he developed while supposedly working on a game that people gave him $1.5 million to develop.
They're never getting that
John
money back.
Vanderswip has a new house, but he lost his reputation, proven by the fact that his second Kickstarter earned him a whopping $430. Next up, we have Day of Dragons. Day of Dragons was supposed to essentially be a survival game where you played as a dragon. You spawned.
That sounds fucking stupid. What dumbass thought of this?
In as an egg, then you have to navigate the typical survival.
Oh, you spawn in as an egg. Yeah, I know where this is going, guys.
survival game elements like hunger, thirst, and predators, with the twist being that you were actually a dragon instead of a person. This is simple enough, and unlike many of the games on this list, sounds like an actually achievable goal. The Kickstarter started on September 2nd of 2019 and promised to deliver the game just 2 months later.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, well that part sounds a lot less achievable. It set an initial goal of $12,000, but by the end of the campaign, it had...
Bro, like that scaly and furry culture, there's nobody that has more monies than them. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like they drop a rack or two on a fursuit, and I hear from other people that those things get dirty.
Made over $500,000. Once again, the demo that sold the entire game is just another asset flip demo, meaning that the supposed developer of the game simply purchased these assets on the Unreal Engine store, threw them into the game, and gave the impression that this is the type of work that they were able of producing. The Kickstarter claimed that this game had been in development for 2 years, but the developer Jo himself was a ghost. No one could find him on the internet or any proof of him having any experience in the industry. Though that didn't stop Jo from making over $500,000 from this Kickstarter campaign. Jo would even go on to post pictures of work that wasn't even his own as examples of progress being made on the game. Essentially,
that's smart, you know, that way, because like you can show the work, but you don't have to do it. So it's like a win-win situation. Like, number one, people are happy. Number two, you don't have to do anything. So it's like, this is an obvious decision.
Lying about what was being done to the game. Seeing the success of his Kickstarter campaign, Jo greedily rushed to add more tiers of funding to the Kickstarter campaign, such as extra Dragon DLCs that founders would have to purchase to enjoy. This wasn't all, though. He even intended to sell merchandise for the game he hadn't built yet.
Smart.
Everything he was doing and saying was 100% focused on extracting money from the people that supported his game. When accused of simply using focus on it,
I just can't see how any person in their right mind can look at this and think that it's worth even $1. I would pay $1 to not have to see this. Like, I would pay $5 to never have to play this. Like, if somebody said, all right, listen, you either play, you know, you're locked in a room and you have to either give us $20 to leave or you have to play this game for 8 hours. I would give them $20.
Extracting money from the people that supported his game. When accused of simply using store-bought assets, Jo denied it, claiming that he had coded a substantial portion of the game himself. But when a Linux version of the Steam build was unpacked, it revealed that there were only 4 lines of custom code in the entire game.
So it's custom code, right? Yeah, that's custom, right? For sure.
He had supposedly been working on for 2 years and had secured $500,000 in funding.
Well, it's like 1 line of code every 6 months.
To finish, had an impressive 4 lines of code in it. When the beta of the game was finally released to the content creators to play, it was 100% asset flipped without any core functions existing in the game at all. You literally spawn in and fly around. That's it. There was no eating, drinking, or
so it's like Dragonflight.
Any systems in the game. There wasn't even sound. It was nothing more than store-bought dragons placed with a store-bought terrain package into a pre-created example map.
Guys. This is where they got the idea.
Terrain package. But despite the fact that the game was so far from finished, to Jo's credit, the game did release in 2019 as promised.
Wow.
So, where is the game now? Almost 4 years later in 2023.
How's it doing?
Well, probably not where you'd expect, actually. It's currently on Steam with recent reviews showing a very positive rating. While the all-time review is mostly positive, it's got hundreds of players online at any given moment and is receiving monthly updates to the game. Presently, you can do little more than choose one of the multiple dragons available in the game, fly around, and kill a few things. And after a $500,000 cash injection from the Kickstarter, plus the money made from the thousands of Steam sales at $20 each, and over 3 years of additional development time, it's still incredibly far from being a finished game. But
so furries are just keeping this game on life support? Like, I don't understand.
Players seem to be enjoying the game, thanks to the sheer beauty of Unreal Engine 5 and the gorgeous dragons they get to fly around as in this small and simple world. The fact that there doesn't seem to be much more to it than that doesn't seem to bother the customers. And if the customers are happy, that's all that really matters, right? Was this a game that was meant to be a scam, or was it just incredibly poorly handled in the early days? No one knows except for Jao. The game isn't finished, nor is it close to finished, but it's still being supported, and its players are, on average, quite happy.
I bet you could make a furry sex game and have it be complete garbage, and people would still play it.
So it looks like, for now at least, that Jao has been delivering on his promise of making a Dragon Simulator game that people could enjoy. As expected, progress is slow, as this is about as small an indie dev as you can get, but it would appear he is legitimately trying, which makes this story a nice change of pace from the rest on this list.
I mean,
I think the takeaway from this video should be that it's entirely too easy to make it look like you are creating something amazing in Unreal Engine, when in reality all you've done is purchased a few assets from talented individuals and slapped them into a map that you also bought from another talented individual. Most of these games showed a few moments of gameplay inside of a gorgeous engine using entirely purchased assets that would take an experienced developer mere hours to put together. They then leveraged that footage and greatly exaggerated their experience while promising the moon to successfully separate people from their money. The main difference between the MMOs on this list that ended in failure and the one that has a positive rating in Steam is that the ones that failed promised to solve technical problems AAA studios in the genre with hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal have not been able.
I want to just go back just so you guys can listen to this one more time and contextualize it around, I think, one of the biggest ones that we're hearing about right now.
Leveraged that footage and greatly exaggerated their experience while promising the moon to successfully separate people from their money. The main difference between the MMOs on this list that ended in failure and the one that has a positive rating in Steam is that the ones that failed promised to solve technical problems AAA studios in the genre with hundreds of millions of dollars at their disposal have not been able to solve.
That's the exact thing that people are complaining about with Doc saying that his game is going to solve cheating. It's the exact same thing.
Meanwhile, Day of Dragons merely promised to be a simple game that is little more than a dragon simulator, a promise that is actually realistic to deliver on. If you take anything away from this video, let it be that.
Ashes? Well, no, I mean, the difference I would say with Ashes is that they actually have a playtest of a siege. They have a playtest of a siege that exists on YouTube that you can look up right now. Like it's not copy. But it's there. You can look at but you can look it up.
MMO promises to deliver everything. If it promises to have every system you can imagine and to have player numbers the developers can only dream of fitting into a single server, that MMO is either being driven by malicious intent or severe incompetence, neither of which you should be giving money to until it's a finished product that has proven its worth. And if you do give it your money, history has shown that you will be disappointed. So be careful with those Kickstarter campaigns, friends. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the amazing content creators like Kira TV and Callum Upton, who have both done a lot to protect the MMO community from fraudulent Kickstarters by covering them in depth. Massive shout out to my YouTube members. If you want to be a YouTube member to help me make the best content I can, and for behind the scenes footage, emotes, and private Discord channels.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. They don't have to be live, but just like upload it somewhere. Use this video.
That thing? I planted it? We can only press onward and ever onward until we reach the northernmost point of this planet. A place that may very well be the end of our journey.
Most of 2023 has been somewhat disappointing for the MMORPG genre. Is December going to be different? Will something release that actually captivates us make us leave our favorite MMO for even just a few weeks? Honestly, maybe. This is probably one of the better looking months this year in terms of new releases, both beta tests, play tests, or full releases. December features 6 playable MMOs on PC. Most importantly, I'll be streaming over on Twitch at 3 p.m. EST every weekend. So, you should come on over, join me and the MMO fun, as I'll be streaming at least one of these, just like I did with Perfect New World and Terraceland. Otherwise, if you enjoy staying up to date with what's releasing, and more specifically this series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment telling me what MMO you're most looking forward to, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell notification. And make sure to check out the last episode in this series at the end of this video, in case you missed an MMO last month. Trust me, with how little marketing a lot of these games do, you're really gonna want to make sure that you don't miss that. Now, let's go ahead, jump in, and see if we can't find something for you to waste the next month in. Let's kickstart this off with arguably December's biggest release, Throne and Liberty. This is an MMO we've all been waiting nearly a decade for, and admittedly we'll still have to wait a little longer for, as Western players, or at least for an English release. As well, Throne and Liberty is confirmed for a December 7th release, that is specifically for Korean players. I don't believe there are going to be IP restrictions in place that inhibit us from accessing the game, so if you're curious like I, and I'm sure many of you are, downloading and installing it in Korean should work. Worst case scenario, VPN. Throne and Liberty is an open world tab target MMORPG with a lot of potential. They've made a lot of mistakes, and many players are cautious about investing time or money into it, given what we've seen and heard, but this is one of the only major MMO releases left of 2023. Pre-registration is currently open for those of you that are interested in the pre-registration rewards. On December 16th, Corepunk will be holding their latest beta test. There will be absolutely no NDA present, which means that we can record, we can stream, and we can share footage of the game. I want to point out that the Corepunk team reached out to me and offered me exclusive access to test the game out, and I agreed to the access as I've been very excited for the game since it was first announced a few years ago. Corepunk is a top-down isometric MMORPG with action combat akin to Path of Exile. Think of a unique amalgamation of Path of Exile and Lost Ark. I'd strongly urge you to navigate on over to their official website and attempt to apply for the upcoming beta if you're interested in trying it out, as the test phase will run from December 16th through December 20th. An early access was confirmed for December 2023. However, I haven't heard anything on that in the last few months, so it might have been delayed while they're running the final tests. Before we go any further into the remainder of what we have to look forward to, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon. You guys allow for me to continue to do regular videos like this every single week. Earlier today, I learned about an upcoming MMO called Monsters and Memories. Judging from what I've read online, there are some people out there that are actually very excited for it. More so than a lot of other indie MMOs anyway. Monsters and Memories utilizes a subscription-based model, which means that you're required to pay a monthly fee to log in and play, much like in World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV. According to the devs, the game is roughly 70% of the way to their proof of concept goal, with a confirmed major playtest happening in December. A short stress test was held on November 11th, with numerous images and videos of the test being circulated online. It is unconfirmed when during December the playtest will be held, but it does seem as though the test will be open to the public. Monsters and Memories will be fully open world with dozens of classes, races, and is aimed at being a throwback to when MMOs were a little bit more social. Sky Children of the Light confirmed several months ago that the game would be releasing onto PC in 2023, which means that realistically they have until the end of December to fully launch. Yet, we also haven't been given any update on when during December that release will be, or if they're in the process of suffering a delay. This was a mobile MMO first, but is arguably one of, if not the highest quality mobile MMO that you'll find right now. Porting the game to PC is a great next step, as even more people will be able to appreciate and enjoy it. If you're a fan of EVE Online, then admittedly, you might not necessarily enjoy Eve Vanguard, an innovative new FPS module that is connected to the Eve universe. According to the website, Eve Vanguard is a persistent, highly customizable, and deeply social MMO FPS, which will introduce an intense new experience to PvE. Players will be able to enjoy high-action gameplay both solo or with other players. Both Eve Online and Eve Vanguard will be connected. Honestly, I do think the game looks really good. From what I've seen and from what I've read, it seems fairly, but not entirely, open world. They're holding a playtest beginning December 7th and lasting for an undisclosed duration. You can sign up for the playtest via their website if you're interested. And finally, Arvida is a hardcore fantasy MMORPG with an emphasis on social communities, crafting, party combat, territory capture, and player-verse developer. Yes, you heard that correctly. That's a term I didn't even know existed in MMOs, PvD. Arvida was originally called Asteria, and you know what, in retrospect, might have covered this at one point in the past. It's hard to remember. These indie MMOs, they'll kind of look the same, and they'll come up with the most generic fantasy names. Asteria, Isteria, yes, they're two indie MMOs, and the only difference in their names is their first letter. Arvida, which kind of sounds like a brand of cheese like Velveeta, is currently in early access, with a confirmed release date slated for 4th quarter 2023. According to the Steam page, but I wouldn't bank on it being an MMO that really pulls you away from whatever you're currently playing, or wouldn't bank on it even releasing in December 2023. And that is everything. All the MMOs slated to release either fully or into some form of test phase this month, at least that I'm aware of. I probably missed one or two. It's bound to happen with more obscure titles. Nevertheless, these are the main games that I have been following. Throne of Liberty will finally be playable for everyone, so we can gauge if it's yet another failed NCSoft MMO or not. Corepunk looks so good and I can't wait to play it. Monsters and Memories definitely has some potential. Sky Children of the Light was a very fun experience for me when I played it 2 years ago. Eve Vanguard looks like a ton of fun if you're into FPS games. And Arvida, well, you know what, there always has to be one dud, right? Overall, probably one of the better looking months of 2023, and we desperately need a good month. This isn't all there is to look forward to though, because if none of those games are games you'd be interested in, I urge you to check out one of these two videos on screen right now.
Really trying to figure out how to do this chat box look a little bit better. Forgot how to make it basically I don't want it to be too big, but I still want it to be readable. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's still big as hell. Or maybe if I make the font size bigger. Super huge now. No, but that'll make it. Like, I want to know, like, when other people like have their chat, like, is it that big? I want to know if like you know, just mine. Okay. I think it'll be fine. I just gotta change the background. No stink right now. I'm sorry. I mean, I can make one, but I wonder why not. Oh, I loved it. Oh, GTA 6.
So if you think about it, it's kind of the calm before the video game storm in a lot of ways, because we know officially that like Rockstar Games has said that they are going to be revealing the next Grand Theft Auto 6, in the beginning of December. It is the very end of November here. So I thought this was a good time to have a little chat, a little check-in before things get crazy, and just talk about what the next Grand Theft Auto game could be and kind of what I want from it. So I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments. I have two main things I want to touch on with Grand Theft Auto, like what I want from the next one. But this is a big deal for a lot of reasons. Obviously, many of us, myself included, have a lot of fond memories, some formative gaming years with the Grand Theft Auto series. For me, it was Grand Theft Auto 3. There are some people out there, their first Grand Theft Auto is Grand Theft Auto 5, and that turns me into a skeleton. But a lot of people have something with Grand Theft Auto. Hardcore gamers, casual gamers. There are people I know who barely play video games, but they'll go out and buy an Xbox or a PlayStation just to play Grand Theft Auto. Probably never finish the story, but have a ball. The game has gotten so big, the franchise has gotten so big, it is like the most, I don't know how to say this, I'm not smart, like a money generating entertainment thing, like movie, video game, anything in history. And that's wild, considering it's being made by a very, like, you could argue, like a traditional model game developer. Now, I know Rockstar Games has changed over the years, right? Leadership has changed. They've made decisions that a lot of people don't agree with, whether it's them just doubling down on GTA Online for, some would argue, too long, to the Grand Theft Auto trilogy remaster, how they bungled that. Some people are over it, but I think like that aside, I think the next Grand Theft Auto is just poised to be a big thing. Your favorite content creators out there, so I know like some of GameRanks' plans, like they're like, yes, a new Grand Theft Auto, fun videos to make for a long time that people want to watch. It's just like an interesting thing, right? And it's just in this weird situation, right? Where like the Grand Theft Auto Online, the shark cards thing, that was like the necessary evil almost for them to just endlessly print infinite money to then work on this next Grand Theft Auto game basically forever. I mean, it's been so long. I don't even need to tell you it's how long it's been since Grand Theft Auto 5 originally released. So now with 6, I guess let's just jump into the things I really want. And this is the leaks aside. The game did leak a couple of months back and showed like some early stuff in the game. We don't know how much has been changed since then. We don't know how early some of that footage is. I have seen a lot of it, and with some of the ideas, I did like what I saw, but there's still so many questions out there. And my big thing, of my two things I really want from the next Grand Theft Auto, the first thing is a bit obvious, but it is gameplay something. I need something here to make this special at this point. Grand Theft Auto 5, I didn't love the story campaign, but the gameplay, it was just like a fully fledged, very detailed Grand Theft Auto game. It played like the most comprehensive Grand Theft Auto game yet, but ultimately it was still a Grand Theft Auto game. It's third-person shooting, it's mini games and busy work, it's stealing cars, it's driving around, it's racing, it's running over pedestrians and stuff like that. The big innovation that Grand Theft Auto 5 really brought was the character switching thing, right? So at this point, I am, and like a lot of times with games, like I'll just give me more. But this time with Grand Theft Auto 6 and it being so long, I do want it to have some it factor in the gameplay, something completely different, something we haven't seen before, something that'll really blow us away, whether it's a new addictive element, something that we just haven't even thought of how a game will work. I don't necessarily want just more Grand Theft Auto with better graphics and even more painstaking details. At this point in my gaming life, and like I know some people might not want to hear this, but like in terms of quality, I love details. I love little things that really help immerse you, but I don't need like I don't need a character to pick up like a can of seltzer and you be able to see every texture and every little thing on it. Like I don't care about that stuff. I care more about the fun factor at this point. So I'm really curious to see what Grand Theft Auto 6's big thing is. Its mission statement. It's like, design document, like gameplay thing. Like what is the thing that pushes this forward? The thing that really makes, or creates the need for Grand Theft Auto 6 to really exist. Now, again, you could argue it could just be new characters, new location, better graphics, that's it. It will probably sell like hotcakes, sure. But even with Rockstar's modern faults and slip-ups here and there, I still expect a lot of them. And I expect them to try hard and innovate. I mean, they have all the money in the world now. They've more than proven themselves with the last Grand Theft Auto. But I don't know. Who am I? Like I don't make games. I am armchairing, but that's it. One thing that could be interesting in terms of like what is the it factor? What is the gameplay thing? What is the exciting new thing that this Grand Theft Auto really brings? Could actually be the location. And I don't just mean like the setting, which I do like the setting that the leaks are, implying and showing, and the size of it. But it's not necessarily like, oh, new location. It's really how it's used, if that makes sense. If you can feel like you're more living in this world, if there are new interesting ways that you as a player can like actually directly engage in this world other than like a golfing mini game or running over an old lady and taking her money. Like if there's something else there, I would love to see that. Does that make sense? And again, I just want to put this out there before the game does like get shown off or anything, but like, if the rumors, the leaks, everything is implied, like the setting, I am about it. I think there is room to showcase, especially if they go big with it, there is room to showcase and show more angles of America than ever. And that's what I really like about these games, is that it is willing to poke fun of American culture, American pop culture, and also tell a good like crime tale with zany characters in the middle of it. So my other thing with what I want for Grand Theft Auto 6 is, I know Grand Theft Auto is more mainstream. I know they like to go wacky and zany, but I really still hope that they hold on to the storytelling thing. Because say what you will about Rockstar, but they're still committed to making majillion dollar game experiences that tell actual stories. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is insanely detailed, graphically beautiful, massive budget, super mainstream, like everybody bought it. It's a crazy thing, right? But at the end of the day, it tells a subtle, nuanced story with interesting characters in ways and approaches that, like, I haven't seen in a movie. I haven't seen in a TV show. Like, they told a tale there. They took video games as the medium and used it to really sell a story. So I really hope, like, with Rockstar leadership changes and like all these things and stuff like that, and with it being Grand Theft Auto, it's not as high art as something like Red Dead. I still hope that they are committed to telling that cool story. I think if there is more than one protagonist or like main character, they can do a lot there in terms of a video game having so much time. You're in this world for so long, you can develop and actually feel a relationship between two characters, something like that. I don't know, but like how Red Dead Redemption 2 was really special in some of the subtler aspects of the story it told, of people, of community, of the West, of family, of passing things on, of lumbago. There is, I'm hoping that Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar, like with this next one, like has the balls to tell like some subtler, more interesting aspects of a story. And again, I know it's Grand Theft Auto. It should be zany. It should be crazy. I'm not looking for Grand Theft Auto to like take itself seriously or anything like that, but just be interesting, you know? Again, this comes back to my bias, to be totally frank. Like the story in 5 didn't totally grip me. So that's where I'm at. Long story short, too long, didn't watch. Essentially, I need gameplay, like the it factor. I need something new, something compelling, something really, really interesting, something we haven't seen before, whatever it may be. And then number 2, just a damn good story with damn good characters. I know those aren't necessarily like hot takes or anything, but I just kind of wanted to yap about this and put this on paper because like I haven't like gone on record on this channel about the Grand Theft Auto series a lot. And I think even though there have been so many games and they're massive hits, right? I think there is still so much room, so much runway for Grand Theft Auto games particular to tell interesting stories, show weird locations, poke fun at cultures, modern culture, whatever. There's so much more there. So I'm just hoping 6 and beyond really takes advantage of that. Doesn't lose sight of that. Because man, being there from Grand Theft Auto 3 and just like seeing the advertisements, the radio stations, all the like really over the top, like really good, cynical, fun, crass stuff, like just making fun of everything to just.
I agree with everything he has to say. You know, it's not. I never been impressed by like, okay, this game looks very sexy, right? Because as we seen in the other video with all the scamming and everything else, because something looks good doesn't mean it's actually gonna play good, right? It can be the complete opposite of what you expect it to be. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would just like again, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna enjoy it with all my friends, and yeah, that's it. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and hate the game after a couple months or a month in, and be like, why did I waste all this money? Showing where I was going. Rest of it, whatever. Show this off. I don't know, man. You have that Jack background. I don't know. It just seems like too much stuff in the way, you know. You know what I mean? Blackjack that crashed. I think my PC's needs to be restarted. It's acting silly today. Alright, let me finish that video.
A crime story, very simple, with identifiable, interesting, quirky characters. Obviously, the series and Rockstar has like grown up since then, but like I'd like that through line to continue. Again, I'm yapping here, but I'm just talking about stuff I like here. That's what I do on this channel. So I do want to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever it'll be called. What are your expectations? Are you one of the people who are just like, no, I hate Rockstar forever now? Fine. But thank you for watching, I guess. But no, let's talk about this stuff. I want to hear from you guys. Do you also find yourself where it's like the hype, like there's no way this could ever live up to the hype, the ambition, the sales, the records that the last game broke? I don't know. Let's talk about this stuff, really. There's a lot to be said, and like I said earlier, like we're gonna see a glimpse of the game soon. Maybe it's just a teaser trailer. Who knows? But I'll be talking about it again, I'm sure. I know it's easy to be like cynical about this stuff or these games or these studios, but like I like what these developers, what these people who make games can really put together here. So I wanted to hash it out in that way, you know, in less of a cynical way. So let me know what you think about any of this stuff down in the comments, man. If you like what I'm doing here, though, like I said, I'm just yapping about stuff I love. Clicking the like button does legitimately help me. Thank you. And thank you to YouTube membership and Patreon people for having my back. Thanks to all of you. I'm Jake Baldino. Subscribe because video games, pizza's on me.
Pizza's on you? Okay. I'm gonna like it because I want to get some pizza. Right,
It seems that there's not much time left until the official trailer for GTA 6 is revealed, and there's no reason to expect any huge leaks regarding this game. Therefore, it's time for a final summary of everything about the upcoming GTA that has dropped over the past 10 years. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On September 17, 2013, exactly 10 years ago, a game that dominated its market was released and became the second best-selling game in the history of the video game industry. Of course, we're talking about GTA 5, which, for the first 24 hours of its existence, made $800 million, and 2 days later it crossed the barrier of $1 billion. Since the release of this game, 10 years have passed, and in the meantime, Rockstar has released the Red Dead Redemption 2 remastered trilogy and also widely hated GTA 5 re-release for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Before GTA 5, also within 10 years, we had the release of GTA San Andreas. Story expansions for GTA 3 and GTA Vice City released as separate games, namely Liberty City Stories and Vice City Stories. Later, GTA 4 was also released, with 2 story expansions released later. And in the meanwhile, there were also GTA Advance and Chinatown Wars. So yeah, in total we have 8 separate games released within 10 years, and none of them was a simple re-release, port, or anything like that. After another 10 years since we got GTA 5, every fan of the series is asking themselves when GTA 6 will be released. Let's take a closer look at the events, leaks, many of which have been debunked, all the ideas and speculation, and we'll summarize everything worth noting from the available credible sources. There's already a video on my channel summarizing all the leaks, but in my opinion it's not detailed enough, so I decided to do it again, delving deeper into the topic. After the successful premiere of GTA 5, 2 interviews dropped, one with the producer and screenwriter of the game, Dan Houser, and the other with the then president of Rockstar North, Leslie Benzies. From Dan Houser in an interview with The Guardian, we learned a few interesting things. When he was asked about the next GTA on PlayStation 4, he replied, "We don't have another GTA in development. We don't work on 3 of these games at a time." That would be phenomenally depressing, but we're not sitting here fantasizing about 10 years down the line. We're so busy with what we're doing right now. In an interview with MCV Develop, Benzies raised the hope that the next part of GTA may be created. When asked about the further plans for Rockstar and other projects, he said, "We've got about 45 years worth of ideas we want to do. We don't know what GTA 6 will be, but we've got some ideas. GTA Online is the focus right now. There ain't no rest between finishing GTA 5 and then online. Plus, we have some other things, stuff, DLC, I don't know how to describe it exactly, that we'd like to do, and we'll pick the right ones." In 2014, two main rumors were about the release date and the setting of GTA 6. The first speculations started after the June E3 event where Rockstar Games announced that GTA 5 will also be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Supposedly, this was taken as evidence that work on GTA 6 was underway. Additionally, the fact that Rockstar did not deny these rumors or provide any information indicating ongoing work on the next GTA fueled the speculation. Players still remembered Leslie Benzies' words from the aforementioned interview. The release date for GTA 6 was set for 2017 at that time. It was believed that a 4-year gap between GTA 5 and GTA 6 was sufficient time to create a new game. These rumors were debunked by a Rockstar employee, Doran Feinstein, senior graphics engineer. He wrote on Reddit that GTA 6 would not be released anytime soon because they were currently working on another game. Today, we know that he was referring to Red Dead Redemption 2. What he said did not discourage players eagerly awaiting GTA 6, who then began to speculate about the game's setting. The biggest speculations revolved around London. Its skyline appeared in one of the skate parks in GTA 5, although Dan Houser had previously mentioned that they did not plan to set the story in that city. But in an interview with Game Rant, he added that although the GTA series is more associated with America, and that's where the game's action worked best, it doesn't necessarily have to be limited to just that. Following this rumor was echoed by many websites and players. There have even been some Reddit posts listing all the reasons why GTA 6 should take place in London. One of the main reasons given by players was the city's diversity, and the fact that Rockstar had already created renditions of all previous titles except GTA 2, which took place in Anywhere City and GTA London. Others, however, argued that since GTA 4 returned to the city from GTA 3, and GTA 5 returned to Los Santos from GTA San Andreas, it was now time for the last missing city from the trilogy, which is Vice City. The release date was rumored to be June 2017, and the game was supposed to be called GTA Return to Vice City. During that time, DJ WooKid, who was involved in other Rockstar projects, commented on GTA 6. In an interview for Baller Status, he said that the action in GTA 6 would take place in Liberty City, which is the virtual New York City. In the same year, 2014, Rockstar trademarked the term City Stories, and people were pretty sure that this might be the name of the next GTA title. 2015 was a year of even more speculation, and a huge number of fan-made fake trailers of GTA 6. Many of them looked terrible, and most of them had already disappeared from the internet, which is a shame, because one of them was really interesting. Only screenshots from this trailer have been preserved, showing a very detailed and well-made city with surprisingly realistic graphics. Okay, so actually, while editing this video, I found some re-upload of this trailer with some random techno song put on top of it. Just take a look. It looked phenomenal back then. Even though after seeing it now, I quite don't understand why the author used some random European vehicles in the traffic. Rockstar repeatedly stated that with each new game they are trying to push the boundaries, and even though this trailer turned out to be a fake, then at least it let us imagine how good the next game could look like. It's also quite interesting that the trailer author chose Vice City as the city where the game's action would take place. Another city that players speculated as the setting for GTA 6 was Tokyo. This wasn't entirely off base, as the creators of GTA did indeed visit Japan to assess the potential of the capital for a game main city. However, they ultimately withdrew this idea. The studio realized that moving the story outside of the United States would be too challenging. It would mean giving up many recurring details in the series, such as the brands that appear in many GTA games. Interestingly, Tokyo had already been considered many years earlier. In December 2003, Take-Two Interactive actually filed trademarks for GTA Tokyo, GTA Bogota, and GTA Sin City. In 2017, as you can guess, speculation about the next GTA installment continued, with multiple forum threads discussing the possible release date. At that time, it was predicted that the trailer would be revealed in 2019, and the game would be released in 2020. There were also some intriguing finds. One user came across a resume of Jorge Consejo, an actor living in Miami. The actor mentioned working on GTA 6, where he worked on CGI by as the Mexican. Fans also found his Instagram post from 2014, in which he was in a motion capture suit, with the description saying, "Wish I could say, but the studio won't let me." When he was asked about it on Twitter, he also replied that he couldn't say anything. In an interview with comicbook.com, Stephen Ogg, the actor who played Trevor in GTA 5, was asked if he had any information about GTA 6 or if he was in any way involved in the production of the game. He said, "I've heard about it and people keep asking me about it, but I have no idea. To be honest, I'm the last one who knows anything about anything, as in everything." In the same year, there was an incident where it was suspected that the actor playing the lead role in the game had been found. A user on the NeoGAF forum noticed that Tim Neff's resume included information about working on RDR2 and GTA 6. However, there were no specific details. When asked about it, the actor responded that he didn't even have an account on the platform where this information was found and had no idea who added it. Shortly after, his entire resume disappeared from the website. Later on his Instagram, a picture from February was found, showing the Rockstar San Diego logo, which also disappeared from his profile shortly after. In an interview with PC Games N, Tim Neff claimed that he had no contact with Rockstar, neither in the context of RDR2 nor during the development of GTA 6. In 2018, the biggest leak of information about the next GTA game at that time occurred. The No, now known as Inside Gaming, posted a video claiming to have a lot of info from industry insiders. They stated that GTA 6 was referred to internally at Rockstar as Project Americas. Their track record with rumors and leaks is mixed, although they correctly revealed details of Dark Souls 3 before official confirmation. They said the next numbered entry in the Grand Theft Auto franchise would be set in or around Miami, or Rockstar's version of South Florida, known as Vice City in the GTA universe. But players would also fly to South America for some missions. Also, they said that for the first time in the series, GTA 6 will feature a female character as one of the main leads, although there's no more details on whether players will take control of more than one protagonist as they do in GTA 5. As for a release date, the game was said to be at least 3 or 4 years away, sometime around 2021 or 2022. Additionally, apart from that video, there were speculations that the main roles in GTA 6 would be played by Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling. In the same year, players in GTA Online started receiving notifications with the release year of GTA 6, and that pre-order is available now on rockstargames.com. Rockstar confirmed that this was the result of hacking attacks on the game servers. In 2019 on Glassdoor, a website where employees of various companies can post reviews of their workplaces, there was a post by one of the Rockstar employees in the position of a QA tester, which looked like this. He said he's been working at Rockstar Games full-time for less than a year. For pros, he listed the opportunity to play some of the best games in the industry and playtest the newest consoles on the market and unreleased kits. As cons, he pointed out ridiculous working hours and mentioned the rough crunch time. But what's most interesting is his advice to management, because if we take the first letter of each line, it gives us GTA 6 LSVCLC, which likely stands for Los Santos, Vice City, Liberty City. This entry matches a now-deleted leak from Pastespin, which had information about the setting of GTA 6 taking place in several cities. The paste has probably been taken down by Rockstar Games, because it was pasted from a guest account with an unlimited timestamp, so it can't be taken down by the creator. Staying on Reddit, user JackoLantern82 posted some details about the next GTA title, Project Americas. He said he has 2 friends who are very reliable and have worked for places such as Kotaku and PC Gamer, and also a very dear friend who works for Rockstar, who won't confirm the details, but won't deny them either. So he said that the next GTA title has been in development since 2012. Production didn't actually pick up properly until mid-2015. Even then, it was on ice while teams focused on RDR2. It's another Rockstar worldwide production, not just 1 or 2 studios, but all. Codename is Project Americas, set both in Vice City and a new fictional location based on Rio de Janeiro, with some linear missions taking place in Liberty City, not open world, like Ludendorff in GTA 5. Game will balance realism and arcade, but won't be as realistic as RDR2. One playable protagonist, a male, set in the 1970s and 1980s. You play as an up-and-coming drug lord wannabe named Ricardo. Another key character is Casey. You start off as a grunt doing runs as a cocaine smuggler from Vice City to the new large South American area, before making connections with big-time drug lords and making your way up. Multiple cities. There will also be a giant prison which will play a part in the game. Will feature a chapter system similar to a Tarantino flick or RDR2. Weather is a heavy focus. Hurricanes, floods, etc. Buildings change over the eras. Vehicles too. This causes headaches apparently, but they manage to nail a pipeline and get it working. So older, rare classic cars get more expensive as time progresses. Full economy, next level, heavily inspired by Netflix's Narcos. They want to have an incredible 70s and 80s soundtrack, but the jury is still out on that one. Your personal vehicle will be like your horse saddle in RDR2. All your equipment is stored in the trunk, similar to LA Noire. I won't lie, most of this information already sounded like something Rockstar could genuinely do at that time. Although Forbes debunked these claims in an interview with Jason Schreier, he pointed out that when a leak is a huge laundry list of insanely detailed bullet points, it's almost certainly fake. He added, "Though I swear every time I'm sure a leak is real, it turns out to be fake, and every time something seems clearly fake, it ends up being legit." So while this seems very implausible, who knows, I guess? It's also worth mentioning that one of the GTA forums users, Apollo Thunder, discovered that a former Rockstar India
that is
employee
true.
has GTA 6 listed as an upcoming game on his ArtStation resume. He was working on creating concept vehicles matching the real-world counterparts for GTA Online and GTA 6. Even though that specific info was removed from ArtStation, it's still available on his LinkedIn. Adding fuel to the fire was the previously mentioned actor Stephen Ogg, who during the Brazil game show, when asked about GTA 6, said that the game would be releasing soon, explaining that Rockstar's games take 7 to 8 years to make. Do the math. GTA 5 released in 2013, so Ogg's math set up the GTA 6 launch date as either 2020 or 2021. But of course, his predictions turned out to be incorrect. By the end of that same year, we got a leaked screenshot from the upcoming game which many people believed was legit. The picture reportedly showed GTA 6 in the stages of production and testing. There was a passenger airplane at nighttime, surrounded by many lights on the airport. The source of this picture was said to be Game Rant, which also leaked 2 other images. In one, you can see a car in the rain, and in the second, there's the back of someone's head, which looked like a cinematic cutscene. Then, the Dexerto website explained the origin of the screenshots. Their publication was attributed to a Reddit user who claimed that a Rockstar employee had shared these pictures with him. Going further, Tez2, a Rockstar Games data miner, posted a tweet saying he found Miscellaneous America's script stats in RDR2 files, which confirmed the Project America's codename for the next GTA title. Apart from Reddit posts and news websites, one of the sources of information about GTA 6 were the DLCs for GTA Online. Rockstar themselves gave us a lot of hints about this game in various forms. In early December 2019, Rockstar posted a short preview of the Diamond Casino and Resort. In this video, at one point, a map of South America is presented, which many believe is not coincidental. The same was the case with another video. In November 2020, Rockstar released a video named Surveil.exe. It was a mysterious 10-second clip showing loading screen cuts mixed with a surveillance screen. It seemed to be nothing more than a teaser for an upcoming DLC for GTA Online. But an interesting find were the coordinates spotted in one part of the video. When pasted into Google Maps, these lead us to a forested road in West Virginia, USA. There wouldn't be anything unusual about this, if not for the fact that the shape of the road can be interpreted as the Roman numeral 6. In this case, it's either a huge coincidence or Rockstar intentionally placed such a hint in their teaser. In the meantime, we've got even more potential leaks of maps, buildings, and vehicles from GTA 6. They were usually made based on what we already knew about the game, although sometimes they revealed something new. Someone found a tweet by Vector Hold, a synthwave music group, saying that GTA 6 will most likely take place in Vice City, and music rights clearing people have been reaching out to synthwave artists for a radio station. In the same year, there was another interesting incident. Allegedly, Rockstar posted a photo on their Instagram story showing a young LeBron James with a copy of GTA Vice City in front of him. It wasn't related to any anniversary of the game. The same picture is on the Sway page on Instagram. Any anniversary of the game. James with a copy of GTA Vice City in front of him. It wasn't related to any anniversary of the game. The same picture is on the Sway page on Instagram and was liked by Rockstar Games. It seemed to be a hint towards Vice City really being the map of the next GTA. Previously mentioned Tez2 posted a tweet saying that he disagrees with Jason Schreier's statements that the new GTA title is in the early stages of development. He said it's hard to believe that when he's hearing it's halfway done or even beyond that. He added, "Take note that RDR2 took approximately 8 or 7 years worth of development. Main production started right after RDR1 release, and recording sessions began in 2013. Expect the same with the next title, unless it's early as in we are nowhere near release, which is more believable." Going further, further, the 2Game website made an interesting comparison of old and latest GTA 6 leaks. Interestingly, they posted previously unknown information, such as the implementation of a full economic simulation, a focus on making connections with drug lords, or the game size being around 200 gigabytes. At that time, they also updated the potential release date for GTA 6 to 2023, which sounds quite funny, since 5 years earlier it was believed that the game would be released in 2017. After all, even at the beginning of 2021, it was still claimed that the game would be released in 2023, and even the release date was specified for October. At that time, Tom Henderson also revealed his predictions about the game. He posted a tweet saying, "For the first time ever in a GTA title, GTA 6 will have a playable female and male protagonist." He also suggested that 80% of the GTA 6 Project America's leaks are fake. In the meantime, Rockstar Games published a job offer that sparked rumors that a GTA 6 trailer would be released soon. The studio was looking for a gameplay cinematographer, and sometime later, also for a live events coordinator and game testers. This gave many players hope that GTA 6 would be announced soon. The latter part of 2021 was primarily focused on the remaster of GTA Trilogy, but in it, people also tried to find some clues about GTA 6, especially after the removal of one very popular mod for GTA 5, the Vice Cry Remastered. Even Tez2 himself stated that the mod had been available for years, so it was strange that Take-Two decided to remove these mods at that point. Not only this one, but many other mods related to the trilogy disappeared from the internet, but later we knew that it was related to the upcoming remaster. There were also a few minor leaks, including one about radio stations, and another with a blurred image of the map with various places that could be visited in the game. And finally, in February 2022, nearly 9 years after the release of GTA 5, Rockstar officially posted, "Many of you have been asking about a new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we've previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the series is underway." It was now certain sooner or later GTA 6 would arrive. More than 1.5 years have passed since that announcement, and we have not received any official update on the game. This information could appear at any moment, as Take-Two Interactive itself announced plans to launch several groundbreaking titles in fiscal year 2025, which begins on April 1st, 2024, and ends on March 31st, 2025. They said they believe these games will set new standards in our industry and earn over $8 billion in net bookings. Moving on, at the end of July, a report by Jason Schreier appeared on Bloomberg, referencing people familiar with the development of GTA 6, and shared many valuable details about the game, which aligned with previous leaks. The woman, who is Latina, will reportedly be one of a pair of leading characters in a story influenced by bank robbers Bonnie and Clyde. In contrast to previous games, developers are also being cautious not to punch down by making jokes about marginalized groups. Original plans for Grand Theft Auto 6, codenamed Project Americas, were for it to be more vast than any Grand Theft Auto game to date, with early designs calling for the inclusion of territories modeled after large swaths of North and South America, the people said. But in its current state, the main map has been cut down to a fictional version of Miami and its surrounding areas. And everything we've discussed so far lacked 100% confirmation until September 18th, 2022. That's when one of the largest leaks in video game history occurred. TPAtuber Hacker posted a link on the GTA forums to over 90 clips of GTA 6 development, along with some parts of source code for both GTA 6 and GTA 5. These footage still circulate online, yet Take-Two, even though a year has already passed, continues to take down these videos. These clips are showing various stages of gameplay in debug mode. These were recorded by developers who shared glitches among themselves via the Slack platform, pointing out what needed fixing or showcasing the progress of certain features they were working on. Initially, almost everyone thought that these recordings were fake, but more and more sources confirmed the leak, including Jason Schreier. Then, Rockstar Games also confirmed the authenticity of the videos, officially stating, "We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services, nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation. The individual behind this cyber attack was a 17-year-old Aryan Kurtaj, associated with the Lapsus Group. I dedicated an entire video to them, which will be in the description down below. However, let's summarize what this massive leak confirmed. First and foremost, the presence of a playable female protagonist named Lucia was confirmed. The game's second main character will be Jason. The game's location was also confirmed as Vice City. The action will take place in modern times, as evidenced by the presence of smartphones and modern vehicles. I've discussed in detail all the features we learned about from the leaks in other videos. However, many aspects remain uncertain. It's unclear what story the game will tell, whether there will be more playable characters, and what will be the size and diversity of the game world. Although Vice City has been confirmed, it's still uncertain about the inclusion of South America. Let's hope.
It'd be cool if they include South America. But either way, yeah, if I were to download freaking GTA, it would take all my...
That all doubts will be cleared up soon with an official trailer from Rockstar Games.
Yeah, hopefully.
On this week's GTA 6 o'clock, when will we...
Ooh. Fantasy? Damn. Magical potion. There's the bathroom bad. Alright, I'm gonna get off stream. Thanks guys for watching, for those that were here, and for those that will watch later. Thanks for watching. Just gonna end stream here and probably get on in a little bit, probably take a little break and then get back on.